Hey, on Patrick.
Hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good to see you, mate. It's good to see you. We got 7 viewers. Wow, that's amazing, man. I would never have thought in my life that I would be doing this stuff. It's amazing. It's people like you, Patrick, coming on, and yeah, I'm seeing some new chats as well. From names I don't recognize. Austin. I think maybe I've seen maybe a comment or two. Daniil, how you going? It's always good to see you, Jatayam. Audio's good. Okay, sounds amazing. Yeah. Anyways, Patrick,
Excellent,
how you been,
excellent.
man?
I know that Austin guy. I know that Austin guy. He's a good dude.
Oh, do you know him in
He's a
real
good good.
life?
I do know him in real life. I do. Um,
Oh,
how am I doing? I'm good, man. I'm really good. How are you?
yeah, amazing, man, absolutely amazing. Yeah, last time I spoke to you, you told me that you landed some, like, got some a new job. So yeah, tell me how that's going.
Oh man, it was really good. Yeah, I had a contract that went through the end of last year and the beginning of this year up through February, and it was a lot of fun, working on a small indie game. And I've just been doing a lot of that, working with indie projects. I had one decent contract and a couple of little small freelance projects. So it's been a good year.
Hmm.
It's been a good year.
Yeah, and for anyone watching, I'm gonna be showing off Patrick's portfolio as we're going live. So I've never done something like this before. I don't know if it's gonna distract me or not because I'm just looking at the visuals right now. But yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. And you last time I
Yeah,
spoke to you as well, you were working on your own project. How's that going?
it's going. It's going. My it's definitely taken a back burner to or back seat rather to trying to make the cash. Where when money comes in, I'm going to focus on that. But it's still going. Maybe a little slower than it was
Hmm.
last year,
Yeah.
but it's happening. I see you looking through some of the videos. One of the nice things I'll say about working on Smite for so long was that every time a skin, well, not every time, but often when a skin would come out, people on YouTube would do videos talking about it, playing with the skin, showing it off and, getting real into it. So a lot of my portfolio for the last couple of years is all it all has like really nice YouTube videos to go along with all the models. And I have to say, it's one of the most beautiful things about um, working on like live service projects is
Hmm.
like that thing, like this little dude you're looking at right now. I built him. He got put into the game, and then a few weeks later, he comes out in the battle pass, and people make videos about it. And yeah, it's very rewarding. It's probably the most rewarding part of live service production is just how quickly you see your art hit the market. Um, oftentimes in production, it'll be 2 to 3 years before your game comes out, so you don't get to see jack. But live service, man, we're always cranking art, cranking content, so
Hmm.
it's nice to see things come out on a regular clip.
I had a viewer ask, Pro Dream says, do you do the animating too?
No, 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 I don't. I'm not an animator. I do know how to make skeletons and I do know how to rig and all of that stuff, but I'm not an animator.
Okay, well, yeah, that's good. That yeah, keep the questions coming, guys. So I do have some questions I want to ask Patrick, but yeah, I'll definitely be asking questions you guys come up with. Barton put a sleeping emoji because it's like 4 a.m. for him. So
Oh man.
yeah, it
Well, good
must.
morning, Barton. Thanks for staying up, I guess.
I think it's a good
Or
night,
waking up
probably.
early.
Yeah, it's probably he hasn't probably
Yeah,
gone
right?
to sleep. Yeah, that's the tricky thing about streaming. Some people like it's hard to like I picked this time because I think it's best for like most Americans. But yeah, sometimes when you're from especially Eastern countries or uh even yeah, Europe, it's like yeah, it's weird. It's like I'm like 12 hours difference to you guys. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the East Coast of the United States, so I think there's like what GMT is like 4 or 5 hours ahead of me, and then you're like 12 hours behind me. I don't even know. Like it's morning for you, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
11.
And daylight savings
10,
just
11.
happened, so that's why I was asking you. Yeah, what time we doing again? Because it gets confusing, man. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
So we've got a few more questions actually here. So
What do we
Jateum
got
asks,
here?
how does Patrick handle complex hard surface modeling? Yeah, so what do you use to model and like how do you what's like your basic workflow?
Uh, it all really depends on what I'm making. So complex hard surface modeling, if I was making like a robot or, sci-fi stuff, what I would probably do is start off making like a rough mesh in ZBrush,
Hmm.
just sculpt it out very simply. And then I would take that and bring it into something like Blender and I'd rebuild the surface. I'd rebuild all the hard surface parts in Blender and then crease them nicely. You can also use extrusions in ZBrush. You can use panel loops in ZBrush. There's like a million ways of doing it, but I personally always like to extract from a sculpt, just because I'm just a kind of a sculptor in general. It's how I like to. It's just sculpting has always kind of been my thing. So, if I was going to do robots or armor or something, I would make a really rough sculpture and then just start extracting pieces and then cleaning them up and then bringing them back into ZBrush to do like high frequency detail. So um,
Hmm.
everything's going to be a little different depending on what I'm actually building, but there is sort of a process, rough it out, block it in, start creating some shapes, refine the shapes, um, make clean meshes, and then worry about high frequency detail. So you kind of like build it from very simple to complex to finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for people who do sculpting, man. It just takes so many hours to get good at it. It takes thousands and thousands of hours. One question I wanted to ask
Oh
you,
yeah.
when you sculpt, do you use a screen tablet or a pad?
Well, right now I have a screen tab. I have a Cintiq, but
Hmm,
I learned on just a regular tablet.
interesting. And which one do
I
you, so I assume you prefer the screen one since you migrated to that?
I do like it. It feels a lot more like drawing. One of the things I always had a issue with the tablet was like looking forward, but
Hmm,
drawing down. So I'd be looking straight at my monitor, but drawing on the tablet. And there was like a weird disconnect because I grew up drawing with pencils and crayons and stuff. Like I was a very traditional artist before I got into digital. So when the Cintiq came out and I could just look directly at where my hand was, I think it gave me a ton more control, felt way more natural than using the tablet and drawing on like a flat desk and staring forward at your monitor. It was very strange. It took a while to get used to.
yeah, I felt the same. I actually, about a year ago, I bought myself a pad and I used it for about a week and I couldn't even write my name. I couldn't even do a signature on it. It just felt so weird. And so I took it back to the
It is
shop
strange.
and I just took it back and got a refund because I couldn't, I don't know, just I couldn't get it. I don't know. I could have given it more time to be fair. But at the same time, it's like, I didn't even know if I wanted to do sculpting. I just wanted to give it a try and I don't know, it
Mm.
wasn't my cup of tea. Only because I discovered that was probably going to take me thousands of hours to get good at. So it's a
It
big time
definitely
sink.
takes a very long time. It takes a long time to get good at this stuff for sure.
Mm.
Took me ages. Like this little goblin girl you're checking. I love this. This was so much fun.
Yeah, it
This
looks
little goblin
amazing.
girl was so much fun. It was the last um this was the last concept that Mina Lee, who was a concept artist at High Res, this was the last one she did before she left the company.
Mm.
And I just had such a great time. I had made a couple of concepts by Mina. She just has like I don't know, she just has like a great design sense. Like all of her concepts were so good, and I was super happy to get to do this little trash goblin girl. It was so much fun. So much fun.
Danil asks, Spalato, All my mates. That's how they call me Spalato. They don't call me Lewis. They're like Spalato. So
Yeah,
it's funny seeing
yeah.
someone on the internet do that too. That's not doesn't know me in real life. Do you think you could do portfolio reviews? Yeah, that's in the agenda. We'll be doing that towards the end. I'm gonna get you to critique my portfolio, Patrick. Although I think I know what's mostly wrong with it, but then yeah, people in the chat, you can post your portfolios and yeah, we'll definitely get Patrick checking them out, and yeah, he can give his thoughts. Oh, there's quite a
Yeah,
few
man.
more things.
Absolutely. I would love
Us,
to be helpful. That
yeah.
was kind of the hope. The whole hope of this was to get some people from the community asking some questions, so I could just give, immediate feedback. Maybe look at some portfolios, ask some question, answer some questions, chop it up, tell some goofy stories. Have a good time.
Hmm. Austin says each part of the pipeline is usually done by different department. Pat and I collabed on a skin. We did the skin, and I did the particle effects for all his abilities. Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah,
That's
Austin
awesome.
is
So he's a
yeah, Austin is a
VFX.
very good VFX artist. Yeah, he worked at High Res for a decent while, a couple of years. He's at Blizzard now.
Oh wow,
Diablo. Yeah, he's on Diablo 4 these days. So things have moved well for young Austin.
that's awesome. Maybe I have to interview him one day. Working at
Yeah,
Blizzard.
you
That's cool.
should
There's a
reach
lot of
out. I'm
people.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I'm
a
sure he'd love to chat.
there's a lot of people who want to work at Blizzard. Oh, there was this YouTuber I saw. I forgot what his name is. I'm
True.
not sure if he was working at Blizzard, but there was a scandal with like not like abuse, like physical abuse. I don't know if it was Blizzard or not.
Oh man,
He's
I don't
some
know.
YouTuber. He always wears a cap in every one of his videos. Oh, I forgot his name. He's like a really talent. Like he's like you, Patrick. He's just like a senior character artist.
Hmm.
If anyone can think of his name, that would be helpful. Um, we got Bananarama says, honestly, I prefer to use my tablet versus my Cintiq. Is that how you say it? Cintiq?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cintiq.
yeah. Just allows me to use it like paper and lets me use my shoulders versus being hunched over. But I learned digital art on mouse. Oh yeah, yeah. That's
I
how I
also
was
learned
doing it.
digital art on a mouse. That's how I started. I learned digital art on a mouse, and then when I went to college, they had Wacom tablets at my college, and that was the first time I ever got to use one. And um, I don't think Cintiqs came out until like 2005, 2006, maybe. I didn't get one until 2007. That's when I got my first Cintiq, and it was a game changer.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was playing Gartic Phone with one of my mates a few days ago, and he had a drawing tablet, and I was on the mouse, and I was like using the mouse, and oh my god, my wrist was paining so bad.
Mm,
That could be because I don't know if you already know, but I have a bit of a repetitive strain injury on my wrist anyway. But I like
you mentioned, yeah, yeah.
it's a big difference. Like the mouse, it's just not good for sculpting at all. Like you're gonna ruin your body, and that's not something you want to do. Don't be
Yeah,
like
no, I
me,
wouldn't
guys.
recommend.
Yeah. Is that the question? Oh, yeah, here we go. Jaterium. Actually, that's an interesting idea. He says, if you guys had to do a software tier list, what would be best to worst? I'm not sure if we can do that now because I don't have it set up, but that's an interesting video idea. I would have to probably get someone like Patrick on for that though, because I don't
Yeah,
use a lot of variety of software. I really stick to my three.
yeah, that'd be interesting to think about it. I mean, that's for what I do, character modeling, um, and most prop modeling, I would just say, ZBrush really is not. Um, there's really no other option. Like I know Blender has sculpting, and I've sculpted a bit in Blender, and it's not terrible, but it's definitely not to the level of ZBrush.
Hmm.
Um, I think with ZBrush and Blender and Substance Painter, you could basically do the whole job. You don't really need anything else besides those three programs to just get models created. Um, if you want to be an animator, some people prefer Maya, and there's like people are into Houdini now for all
Hmm.
sorts of things. Like there's a million options, but if you're just making production art, you need a 3D package you like, you need ZBrush, and then you need Substance Painter. And that's it. The 3D package could be anything you want. I prefer Blender because it's free and it's better than the other ones.
Yeah.
I think Blender embarrasses 3D Studio Max and Maya. Like I think Blender is just on another level these days.
Yeah, slow. Like I use Maya and I love Maya, but slowly, it's been pissing me the fuck off. Right? I have the
Mm,
paid version. Well, it's paid by through the university. I have the legit version,
mm.
and I've got the latest 2025, and it's been crashing all of a sudden. Just been non-stop crashing like once a day, and I don't know what to do.
Mm.
Like I've had to set up autosaves and shit to try counteract it, but yeah, like Maya, like yeah, like and the sculpting in Maya is fucking horrible. You bring the poly count up to like anything above 300K, and it's like Maya starts to I noticed that it slows down,
Hmm.
and I'm like, fucking, you guys are industry
Yeah.
stranded, man. Fucking fix your shit.
Yeah, Maya does not handle high poly stuff very well, which is a shame because it actually has some like incredible baking software. Like inside, if you use I think it's called like render to texture or surface transfer or something like that. I haven't used Maya in a very long time, but when I did, it created some excellent bakes.
Hmm.
But actually getting high poly models into Maya and having it bake successfully without crashing was very challenging.
Right. Like, what do you mean baking? Do you mean like baking low poly, high poly to low poly? Like, or do you mean
Hmm.
light? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't even know it could
Yeah.
do that. Honestly, I thought that
It
was
can, yeah. It has it's called, I think it's called surface transfer. I think is what it's called in Maya, and it does very very nice bakes, but crashes half the time if you bring something too heavy into the package.
interesting. Okay, yeah. One thing that pisses me off about Substance Painter is like whenever I do my high poly to low poly, um, for some reason, if you use like I used to have this problem where it just wouldn't work. Like you do it, and I'd do everything the tutorial says, and it just wouldn't work. And you know what the solution was? Use a .obj. Yeah, and that's something, and that's something like I would Google for, and I wouldn't find the answer. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll try it. I'll try a different file format, and it works. It's like,
What were you using, like FBX beforehand?
yeah, I had a high poly
Hmm.
FBX to a low poly FBX, but
Weird.
yeah, and it just wouldn't bake the detail. It like would not work. And then fucking just did OBJ and it worked. I'm like, okay, you just
Hmm.
wasted 2 days of
That's
my time, but I learned something.
Yeah, that's strange. That's strange. I know that I do know that FBX is like when you export from Blender, FBXs have a scale issue. So
Hmm.
you actually have things that come out of Blender as an FBX need to be multiplied by like um
Is
it
it?
comes out small. So you need to multiply it by like 10 or something like that for it to
Hmm.
come out the correct scale. I off the top of my head I can't remember what the number is, but for whatever reason natively FBXs out of Blender come out small. And I just ran into that on this recent project I was doing. I was trying to bake stuff in Marmoset Toolbag, and I couldn't figure out why nothing was baking. And then I looked and I unhid all of the high poly stuff in there, and it was so tiny compared to my whole model. I was like, what the hell? How did the scale get all goofy? But I
Mm.
was using FBXs into ZBrush, but I was using FBXs or OBJs into ZBrush and FBXs into Marmoset, and it was creating all kinds of goofiness.
Yeah, I think Maya
Technology,
does the
man.
same thing. Like, the default
Oh, and
workspace is centimeters, and I know whenever I export
mm,
something into Unity, I have to scale it up by 100 for it to get real world units. So,
gotcha. Nomadic Realms just said, got to get that better FBX plugin. See, that's the beauty of Blender is all the plugins and all of the tools that are written for it. So I'm gonna check that out. That might just sort it out, and I don't have to remember. I don't have to remember to scale up my FBXs when I export.
yeah, that's one thing too. Blender, what it has over Maya is integration of plugins is just like a billion times easier. Maya is just a pain in the ass to get plugins.
Yeah, Maya is flexible if you know how to code. If you know how to code in whatever that's, I think it's Python or something. If you know how to do that, then the world's your oyster. But the joke that I mean, back in the day, and I mean, it may not be this way, but like way back, like when I was learning all of these things, the joke was that Maya couldn't bevel without a script. Like Maya couldn't like everyone's like, oh yeah, you could script Maya to do all of these things. It's like, yeah, but can it do a bevel function? And they're like, oh well, if well, if you have the right script for it, like just really bizarre things that you take for granted required scripts and tools and shelves and all this other stuff, which if you're in development and you know how to do all of that stuff and you got tech artists writing that thing for you, that's great. But if you're just an artist trying to make basic shit, learning all of that stuff is a bit more than what I bargained for, at least. Trying to figure out Python, I don't know about that. I'm not that kind of nerd.
Uh-oh, your portfolio's gone blank.
Uh-oh, it's all over.
Australian internet.
Dude,
Oh, there we go.
they took me off of ArtStation. That's what it was.
Yeah, they don't like people learning, mate.
Yeah, they don't.
Daniil asks, what do you
Charon,
guys...
the fireman. I love this one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, one of my viewers, Daniil asks, what do you guys think about the recent movie Flow? Have you seen that movie, Flow?
I have not seen that
Yeah,
movie,
neither have
no.
I, so I don't think I can answer that. And do industry seniors not like it since they don't know how to use it and don't want to learn? Yeah, I don't know if I can answer that. And do industry seniors not like it since they
Do they
don't
not
know?
like it because they don't want to learn? I mean, there is definitely a stigma, and I think it's just for a lot of people. They don't want to learn new things. People get set in their ways, and they find things that work for them in their production environments and workflows and stuff. But when you stop learning, you're really only doing a disservice to yourself. Like I've been doing this for 20 damn years, and I had to learn Substance Painter a couple years ago, and it's only really last year that I decided to really learn Blender and you know force myself to make full production characters in Blender and stuff. So I don't know what Flow is. It's probably AI actually. To come to think of it, it sounds like AI. But
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
the
that
thing
would
is,
make sense.
everyone should always be learning. If you feel like you can't learn anything else, you're delusional. If you're too set in your ways to learn the new software, you're really only hurting yourself. You know what I mean? And especially these days with YouTube and Udemy and just all of the options for learning. Like, it's not like it's back when I was a kid and I had to buy like $150 Gnomon DVDs to learn stuff. You know what I mean? It's like you go on YouTube, you type in how do I use this, and 30 people are telling you how to do it. So I just think there's no real excuse. It's just like an ego thing. If you don't want to learn something, it's probably your ego. And if you're in your ego, you're probably actually hurting yourself. You're probably not really helping yourself if you're getting all, if you're getting your ego into it. So you should just get after it. Learn everything. Try to make yourself as marketable as possible. And the more you know, like, it never hurts to know these things, even if you never use it. It's good to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bananarama wrote, I just read a Python script to extract vertex from sprite art. Sounds nerdy when I write it says sounds nerdy when I write it out. When I was reading that was the first thing I was thinking of. I was like, nerd.
Hey, I love nerds who
Yeah,
write
nerds are
scripts
good,
like
man.
that, because I love nerds. Please write more scripts for me because I don't know how to do it. I love tech artists. I love you guys. You make my life so much better. I absolutely love tech artists. I love working with them. I ask them for things and they're like, "Oh yeah, we could just make that. We can make a tool for that." Like, you are a saint. Get me that tool.
Oh yeah, here we got some context. Flow is a movie that was animated by a team of Blender artists on a shoestring budget, not AI. Oh, okay. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So
Well,
yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. I mean,
Um,
that's with the cat. Flow with the cat. Oh.
mm,
Oh. I've seen okay, I have seen some things about this. I think it's beautiful, man. Like, it's Blender's amazing. People who once upon a time Blender was like legit junk. Not gonna lie, like Blender was not good. But it has really changed over the years, and I think Blender is a fantastic program now.
Yeah, it's actually good. See, I don't use it, but I can I can tell that it is good. And the only reason why I don't use it is because I already know how to use Maya, and I feel like there's other skills I can put my time into, like learning new shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, like if I had to start again, if I did not know how to use Maya, I would probably use Blender. And I think a lot of other people that's a quite common thing to hear from people who use Maya first. They would say that. Joteum says, "How often do you guys get fake job offers?" Okay, that's interesting because Patrick, you're a senior in the. Yeah, see, like there's always a lot of talk about how juniors are getting fucked over. Like, there's constant fake jobs everywhere and stuff. But yeah, how often does it happen to you being a senior?
Well, before the industry decided to fall apart, I would get solicited for opportunities pretty often. And it's really hard to know if it's fake or not, because I very rarely, followed too far with them, because I was very happy working at Hi-Rez for the time that I did. But when I was getting solicited, it's hard to tell when they're fake or not. People, they set up Zoom meetings, they want to ask questions, and sometimes the questions are pretty reasonable, but a lot of times if you look at the email, if there's like a lot of spelling errors, if there's like strange grammar, those are pretty clear signs that you might be dealing with somebody who's not above board. But these days, ever since things started falling apart, I haven't been solicited by a lot of fake jobs. There's not a lot going on right now. Yeah, I guess they don't bother, or if they reach out, the thing is, I have, I'm just very straightforward. Like, this is who I am. This is what I can do. This is what I'd like to do. When do you want to talk? If they don't want to do something as simple as schedule a time to talk on a Zoom meeting or something, if they don't want to use cameras, if they don't follow the standard protocol, which is HR person reaches out to you, sets a time, does a screen interview, usually like 30 minutes to an hour or so. If that's not what's happening, it's probably a scam. If they want to hire you sight unseen with no chat, it's it's probably a scam.
Or if they want to invite you to Microsoft Teams, remember that? Microsoft Teams, mate. If it's that, then I've had a few of those, man.
Yeah. If they don't want to actually have like a conversation, if they don't send you things like NDAs, DocuSign things to, if they don't want to give you basically the NDA, and there are a few other forms that sometimes you wind up signing, but if they don't give you things to sign, if they don't want to do NDAs, they don't want to do a face-to-face interview, you're probably dealing with someone who's scamming you.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, the model I'm showing now, I think this might be my favorite model from you.
Oh, dude, this was so much fun. This character was so fun. It was like so my buddy Sven Bybee, insane concept artist. I've actually worked with him at 3 different studios in my career, which is just super cool. Like, we've been bros since 2007. Ben designed this. It was based off of like Metal Gear Solid. It was like Metal Gear Solid, like Asian mech Cerberus here, and the lead animator, John Wynn, who's now at Riot Games. He and I worked together. He's like, it would be so cool if this transformed. And I was like, you're right. That would be cool. That would be super cool. He's like, let's build it so that it can transform. I agreed. And then he made it so that it turned into a little tank, and you can actually drive this thing around. If you have this skin, you can transform it into the tank, and it drives around on the battlefield.
It's just sick.
It's just, there it is.
There's so many configurations.
It turns into a little tank right there.
Yeah, there's so many configurations.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know how fucking you guys think of that. Jatan says, how much coffee do you guys chug?
Dude, lots of coffee, lots of coffee, a lot of energy drinks go into this. The beauty of this thing is, like, we really spitballed it verbally, But what I told him was like, I'm just going to build everything in individual elements, so you can basically hard rig this to bones. So there's really very few. There's no blending really. It's just a bunch of individual objects, and they're all weighted like
Mm,
100% to a bone,
yeah.
which just allows it to really look like a machine. And they just went, they just went wild with it. They got it to like explode and turn into a tank and transform, and uh I was just so happy with this model. It was super fun.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I think I made this thing. This was one of the maybe year 1 or year 2 that I made this when I got to high res. So it was this is old as hell, but I had a great time working on it.
How
It was
many
super
years
fun.
experience did you have by the time you made this model, like in the industry?
Uh like 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Probably
So,
like, yeah,
man,
probably like
you could be
15.
principal. Like you're at the principal level. Even
Yeah, if they
above
want
that, you
if they
could be
want
a
to hire
double
me for it.
principal. You could be double principal. Like, how many
I
years
guess,
total
yeah.
have you had
I
now?
like that. I'm on year 20 now.
Yeah,
I'm year 20. Yeah.
double principal. There you go. So now, whenever
I like that. Double principal. Double principal.
whenever I see
That's
a
like S tier.
yeah, sometimes I see a job. It's like must have 15 years experience. It'll be a principal role, and I'm like, fucking surely, fucking no one has this. But no, fucking just send it to Patrick, mate. He'll get it.
Well, it's funny, I've been doing this for a very long time, but I still get turned down. I still just get the auto reject,
Hmm.
just like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like,
I
I
reckon
have
it's
been at this for a very long time, but yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot right now.
yeah. I reckon
Things
they've
are
got
tough.
the guy, and they just put the job post out, and that's
I
why
think
they
that's
reject
true.
it. Yeah.
I think that's true. I think a lot of very senior positions, they have someone that they want for it, and they just put it up because they have to legally, and then but they know who they want to hire already.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this was what happened. I don't know if you watched this video, Patrick, but it was my latest LinkedIn one, and there was a job by EA, and he had in the job requirements, and if you add up all the years of experience he wanted 49 years experience. 49.
That's older than me. I mean, I haven't even been 40. I'm not even 49 years old. How is it possible that some guy out there has got 49 years of experience? But I'm sure somebody exists like that. But dang, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough. It's
it's
cutthroat out there right now, man.
it's so yeah, we're gonna get on like that's actually one of the topics we're gonna get onto soon. I'm just gonna there's a few questions and then we'll get to that. We'll talk about how what's been happening. So Jateum says, between the both of you, how often do you guys play games and what's your favorite? You can start with that, Patrick.
My favorite, well, I don't really play games that often anymore. I think the last game I played was the Soul Reaver games got re-released. Soul Reaver 1 and 2. They had like HD
Hmm.
releases a couple months ago, and I played those, and it was like it was incredible because I played those games when I was in like high school, so it was very nostalgic. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But man, I don't really get to play a lot of video games. I had a pretty busy schedule. Favorite game though, whew, that's tough. It's almost impossible to answer that one. Probably like Chrono Trigger, Final
Hmm.
Fantasy 7,
Hmm.
Final Fantasy 7 maybe, Chrono Trigger. Something on Super Nintendo probably, because
Oh man, those
that's when
games. Yeah.
those are like, if it was back then, I probably loved it because I played a lot of Super Nintendo in high school. I got a PlayStation in '97. Final Fantasy 7 was a big one. A lot of those old school PlayStation 1 games were games I loved. Metal Gear Solid, you know. It's
Hmm.
it's tough. I can't choose a favorite game. There's so many good ones.
Yeah. See, I grew up with the Nintendo 64, and I played a lot of those games like
Eh,
Mario Kart, Mario Party,
Yeah.
Zelda Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Man, those games are amazing. But I'd say my
Did
favorite
you ever
game.
play
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on. Go on.
Did you ever play on 64? Did you ever play Mystical Ninja? The
Nah.
Legend of Goemon? Oh
Nah.
man, that is
I haven't even heard of
that
that.
game.
Okay.
It was a super weird game. Konami made it. The Mystical Ninja games had a lot of Super Nintendo games, but they made a game on 64, played just like Mario and Zelda. third-person platformer. Incredible game, super funny. Like, and I think it even is better now because looking at it as an adult and playing the game as an adult, like there's so many funny like jokes like that. I think you only appreciate as an adult, like because you got to think like in the game, it's a feudal Japanese game that has a ton of like Japanese folklore and history to it, and the enemies in the game are turning Japan Western. So like these enemies come in and they like use like a magical ray to turn like Japanese castles into like European castles and stuff. And the whole game is like the Japanese characters are trying to keep Japan Japanese, and I just think it's so funny now looking at it from um from a perspective of just like uh influence, right? Like um the different influences that different parts of the world have on entertainment and how stories are told and all of these things. So seeing them kind of like rebel against like the westernization of Japanese ideas back in like 1997, 98, whenever the hell that game came out, like very funny, very funny.
The
And
question is,
also
oh, sorry, don't go, go.
super good. Also super great game. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. What's
The
up?
question is it better than AC Shadows?
Oh,
Because I heard Feudal to Japan and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, we've got that coming out now.
it may have predicted AC Shadows. It may have actually been way earlier. That may have been the first game where they were trying to westernize Japanese stuff, and they're like, it's gonna get worse from here, and then AC Shadows shows up.
Yeah, for my favorite game, I play Age of Empires 2. That's my favorite game actually. But I do a lot of watching content on YouTube. My favorite if you guys check him out, his name is Poop Lord. On YouTube. He plays that, yeah. That's his name. Yeah, he does. See, he plays the game in a way that I would play it. Like he doesn't play the meta strats. He does like weird shit that no one's ever like had to deal with, and players just can't handle it. Like they get so angry at him. I'm like, you can play the game the way you want, man. Fucking, that's what makes the game so interesting. There's just so much variety. But yeah, give him a check out. I really like him. But yeah, that's like my favorite game. I don't know. I've always liked it. That, and I love Pokemon Stadium too. If I could, like, I've got the emulator. Sometimes I just play that just like by myself, like I verse the computers. It's so fun. I love the randomized part where it's like you do the what are they called? The challenges. It's like you get 6 random Pokemon and you verse their 6 random Pokemon, and it's always like a unique game every time. There's so many different variables in it. It's just so fun. Have you played Pokemon Stadium 2 on the NC?
I have not. I have not.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is like, oh fucking, it's so good. Just everything, like the music, the animations, man. For the time, I think it came out 2001, Pokemon Stadium 2 maybe, because I think the first one came out 99. But the animations are like, it holds up today. They're like, they're crazy. You got like characters doing like high jump kick, and they're doing fucking somersaults and fucking kicking it's just, oh my god, the VFX as well. Fuck, man. Nintendo at the time, like their VFX was just top quality, top notch for its time.
Yeah.
Like even seeing in Ocarina of Time when you shoot like the light arrow and you see like the VFX of the arrow, like in that it's like an inverted disc, and it like shows it on the arrow tip. It's like, fuck, that looks so good. And then it like expands when you shoot it and it hits a wall. Oh my god, it's the shit that they were able to do back in those times. Man, we got 17 viewers. Holy fuck. That's so fucking good. Holy shit.
Yeah, man, you're moving up in the world. Look at that.
Jeez. Thanks, guys. Let's see if there's any other questions.
Yeah, let's check it.
Oh, we have a few more. We've got a lot more. I mean, I have to scroll up. Mystical Ninja was one of my. Oh yeah, he's responding to that.
Yeah. Mystical Ninja, super good.
Wiglord says interesting art style. Looks like, I think he's talking about your portfolio. Fortnite meets WoW style painted skins. Yeah. I can see that actually. As a new character artist slash hard surface artist, what's the strat to just make a living? Industry's cooked, thinking on freelance commissions and grifting on YouTube with tutorials or something. Yeah, actually, that is one of the questions I was going to ask. Well, I might as well get to that now. Patrick, if you had to start again, let's say your existence was wiped and you're reborn and you're like, you, you're 18 and you wanted to get into the games industry, what would you do in modern day? In modern day time.
Jesus. Oh, man, get a. All right. Well, I mean, I would really just start cranking out characters, man. Look at games that you like. Look at games that, yeah, climb back into the womb. Big Lord, that's funny. Man, if you were trying to get into the industry right now, one, have a lot of patience because things are really bad. Two, try to make um, make art that is already at the level of the projects you're trying to get on. So if you wanted to go work, say we were just talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? Like say you wanted to be a part of the revival of Ubisoft now that Tencent has injected them with money. Look at AC Shadows, make a models that could go into that game. Whatever they happen to be, like try to create art that looks like it could just go directly into the project that you're applying for. And then be very patient with applying because things are cooked right now. So if you really wanted to break in, know it's going to be a bit of a struggle. You mentioned grifting on YouTube and tutorials. If that's something that you are passionate about, you should do it because it's there. It's an option. Give it a shot. You may like doing it more than you realize, Until you give it a shot, you never know. I don't think that there's any there's no silver bullet right now. There's just been so many studio closures and so many jobs lost in the last 2 years that there really is no direct route that I'm aware of. Just create awesome art, try to master these programs, try to master your craft, and keep applying. Don't give up if it's something you really believe in. Never ever give up on something you really want to do. And if you can afford to, just be like a bartender or something and work on art in your spare time until you can get that new gig, do that, do whatever you got to do to try to get the gig. Make quality work, learn as much as you can, and don't give up. And just don't expect it to be quick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there really is no timeline for this. I actually think the timeline, I mean, I if we want to be really honest, I think it's going to take probably 2 before there are most of the people who have lost their jobs in the last 2 years, it's probably going to be like 2 or 3 years before there are enough opportunities to get all those people out of the talent pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
what I will say,
don't give up, give a shot. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
The point about tutorials, and I assume, yes, YouTube tutorials. One thing with that is that what I've learned is that if you want to do that type of content, you really got to be an expert on that content, because if you're not, people, you won't listen to you, like they'll just discredit you as someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. And secondly, you get so much more scrutiny because it's a tutorial. You're expected to, it's sort of the same point as point one. For context, how long will that take? For context, I've been doing YouTube for almost 6 months now, and I'm at where I'm at. But I have never portrayed myself as someone who's an expert. I never said that. I'm as far as I'm concerned, I'm one of you guys. But I'm using that to my advantage. That there's a pro to that, and it makes me seem more relatable, I think. But yeah, the problem with YouTube tutorials is you have to hold yourself to a high standard if you want to have any chance of success. But the other things, yeah, you can definitely try it. I don't know what your skill level is. I haven't seen your content. I don't think. Maybe I've seen it. I don't know. Um, but yeah, do like Patrick said, just give it a go if you want. Do one or two videos. It doesn't hurt to do one or two, and just get feedback and see how it vibes out. I don't know. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
YouTube's
I mean,
tricky.
if you know the software and if you have like a teaching um, personality, you know, if you have the personality to do it, if you have the man, you know, I think a lot of it comes down to like what fits well with a person's personality and how they and how you convey information. So if that's you, give it a shot. You know, like there's no there's no downside to creating tutorial videos because you know even guys like me who have a ton of experience in this stuff, I Google tutorials all the time. If
Mm.
I need to do something, I Google it. I ask questions all the time. I don't remember how to I don't remember all of this shit, you know? I don't remember how to like uh you know, I was just building this thing the other day where I had to look at tutorials to like re- basically remind myself how to duplicate duplicate a shape along a spline on this piece of armor I was making, and I'm like, I don't remember how to do this crap. I gotta look it up.
Yeah,
So I had to look up YouTube, you know, go on YouTube, figure like, oh yeah, okay, so I could build this flat, and then I take it, you know, from here, and I attach it to this spline, and then I duplicate it along this. Okay, you know that's invaluable information because I don't remember that stuff, and plenty of people don't remember how to do it. Like, you always got to look at your reference. You always have to look at, you know, new techniques and new things. So I think that's definitely a very you know, lucrative area. I mean, I don't really know how, you know, I don't really know what the YouTube slash teaching um, economy looks like. You know, I don't know if that's going to pay your rent, but it's a good starting point. And then if you do apply places, your YouTube channel is now something that you can also attach to your resume.
exactly.
So
That's
when
what I
you
was thinking.
apply, yeah, when you apply to a studio, you go, hey, here's my resume, here's my portfolio, and also here's my YouTube channel where I talk, you know, young people through um, different tools of the trade. It's just another thing to market yourself. You know, there's no real downside to it unless like you go
Unless
on
you're
there
me.
and you know,
Unless you're doing what I'm doing.
yeah, unless you go on there and talk a bunch of shit about the industry, you know, it's probably not going to hurt you.
Yeah. Austin says, I do not envy graduating students in the industry. Even for niche fields like VFX, it is incredibly hard to get anything, even if you have years of experience. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of experience, a lot of connections, a lot of network, and it really, you know, it hasn't really done too much for me. You know, not saying any of my friends who haven't tried, you know, like I appreciate any of them, especially the ones who are listening who have, you know, recommended me or put me through a system or whatever. But right now, it's rough. Like it's just not great. So, you know, do what you can. Do what you can to survive. Maybe find a niche, and just dig into it. You
Mm.
know, as long as you're enjoying, like, life is not your job, right? Like life is so much more than just your job. So as long as you are living like a full life and you're enjoying yourself and you're um, becoming like a full version of yourself, like just keep moving in that direction, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, for students, I always bring up the point. It's like like when I was back at uni, I'll be speaking to other people, and they'd be like, "Oh, one day I'd love to like run my own game studio, in the years to come." But judging by how the industry is now, you never expect that you might get forced down that route. Like you kind of want to, like most students want to work for some indie companies for a couple of years, and then they want to migrate to AAA, and then after that they want to leave AAA and start their own studio. But we're changing into a different age where I just think that now student to studio, like your own studio, could be the new meta.
Yeah,
Honestly, uh,
it could be.
yeah.
I mean, there's so many tools now that will allow you to do something like that.
Mm. Like get
I
a
like this.
like a job
Hmm?
on the side. Like it's just you can do it yourself. Like just yeah. Like I'm trying to build up the
Yeah,
funds to run mine. So and I'm lucky that I got Andrew, so we can kind of combine. But yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's pretty much a waiting game now. Like I'm hoping this studio will happen, and I'm thinking it will. Like chances are it will. If we keep going the way we're going, it's going to happen soon. But I can't give a date.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone else
Yeah,
like
just
yeah.
it's a marathon, man. Like everybody wants it to be now, 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 right? Everybody wants, you know, everybody wants everything to be right now. Like one thing, I talk to students, they want to be good now. And I understand that, especially like I've done art, I also do martial arts, and the thing I hear all the time from martial artists, is like I want to be good now. It's like, yes, I understand, but it doesn't work that way, You have to do the reps. Like you have to do time. You can't get around the time aspect of it. It's just repetition. And eventually, you repeat it enough, a year and a half from now, you're going to realize like, oh, I'm like really good at this, comparatively speaking to where you were when you were saying, oh, I want it now. And then a year later, you're going to be even better. And a year later, you're going to be even better if you keep working towards it, and working at it. And people don't want to hear that because they want to be employed now. They want to pay, they want to pay their bills. They want to work on this or that or the other thing. I get it, but life doesn't work that way, unfortunately. You gotta put the reps in, to get the skills. And even when you have the skills, there may not be necessarily opportunities, and you have to just keep throwing your resume out until one of those companies actually wants to hire people, and then they see your resume, and then you start making it happen. You know,
Mm.
these are all things out of your control, but what's in your control is your ability to keep grinding. The only thing in your control is your ability to keep producing art, getting better, you know, sticking on it, being disciplined, and all the things that go into making the stuff you want to do. And if you really want to do it and you stick to it and you work towards it, there's a very good chance you'll make it happen.
Mm.
But you'll never make it happen if you give up on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Patrick, what's going on with this character's arm or hand? What the heck's happening
Oh
here?
my God. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So, so, oh my God. All right. So this character, we did we did, the band Slipknot?
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, so the band Slipknot, we were doing like a million crossovers when I was at High Res. We were trying to cross over everything. This image, we didn't have enough bones in the hand to do like the devil horns, like the heavy metal devil horns
Right.
that a lot of like rockers will do.
Hmm.
So in this image, unfortunately, both of the hands are in place, but I did two versions of his hand. One where it's a regular rigged hand to play the drums, and another hand that's swapped out to be the devil horns. So this model actually has two hands on top of each other, and I think all of them actually have
Yeah, I
two
think.
hands.
Yeah, I think I
So
noticed it
he's
here
got
too.
one, yeah, he's got one devil horn
Nice.
hand, and
Yeah.
then one hand that is supposed to grab the drums. So yeah, his hands are, yeah. Don't, this is some AI shit right there.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. When did you make this though? This would have been before AI, surely, right?
Oh my God, when did I make this? I made this at least 3 years ago, if not longer than that.
Okay,
Yeah,
AI to 3D model might have been in its infancy
that
then.
may have yeah that may have been around in 3 years ago, like 21, 22. Yeah, this was probably a 2021 model or a 2022 model, I would guess. I can't even remember. They all kind of mixed together. But yeah, we had this really cool crossover event with Slipknot. I actually listened to these guys when I was in high school,
Mm.
so it was really weird to make a bunch of the skins for this band because like when I was in high school, like I was in a band in high school and
Mhm.
we covered these guys. Like we played a ton of their music. So it was just very surreal to make the characters from the band and put it in the video game.
What instrument were you on?
I play bass guitar.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah, I'm a drummer myself.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
So, but yeah, with the repetitive strain injury, whew, I have to take it in moderation, mate. No,
Yeah,
that's
I
okay.
bet if you got some repetitive stress.
That's probably
But
why
yeah,
I
I
did it.
mean, dude, for real, yeah, you just hitting the skins all the time, it probably hurt you.
Well, even Slipknot's drummer, like, they've been through like three different drummers. I think they've,
Yeah, the OG guy died.
yeah, he died, but then
He
there's the other
passed
guy
away.
who got kicked out. Probably he just couldn't play anymore. I think his muscles and shit were wrecked too. So he might have had what I
Damn,
had. Yeah, they kicked him
damn,
out though,
yeah,
and then I don't know who they
that's
got now.
rough.
They might even have a new drummer now. I don't know.
It's possible. I mean, I was listening to these guys when I was in high school, so we're talking 1998,
Mm.
1999. So, but yeah, it was bizarre. Like 10, 15 years later, I make their likeness in a video game. Super bizarre. But it was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah,
It was a ton of
it
fun.
looks really good. All the models look sick.
Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah, two other guys handled like I did the Raijin, I did the drummers, and then my buddy J Mac, he did the guitarist, and then I think Wayne Williams did the singers and the DJ and whatever the other guy is. But
mm.
yeah, we had like such a great crew. I'm very nostalgic for my time at High Res. Like working on Smite was a really excellent time in my career. We made just so much cool shit on that game.
It's interesting that they got a collab with the band in this game. Like you'd think you see this game, you would never expect
Yeah,
Slipknot to want to be in this.
yeah.
Like you got like a, are they
Oh,
considered death metal?
we agreed. Like I remember the meeting we were in where we were talking about, okay, we got a collab with Slipknot, and I think everybody would just looked at each other like,
Huh?
what? What are we doing? Like, I think right before this we had done maybe like GI Joe and Transformers, and we had done some Avatar stuff, and we did Ruby, that anime from Rooster Teeth. Like we did a ton of interesting collabs, Nickelodeon stuff, but the Slipknot one was like bizarre, super bizarre.
Yeah, really, really weird. Banana Rama says RSI, the only solution is to let them fillet you like a fish. Those braces and physical therapy aren't going to help. You're actually right. You're totally right. You can't like, fuck these like general doc, like my general GP, right? His first like the RSI is something that people don't really know about, right? So he instructed me wear a brace, and I wore the brace, and it just made my condition way worse. I then like he then suspected it was like some sort of blood problem, so he sent me to a rheumatologist. I think they're called
Hmm.
rheumatologist,
Hmm.
and yeah, that took like, dude, to see this guy took like 2 months, and even after I seen him, you have to do the test, and then the test came back negative, and he's like, all right, let's get an MRI on you. So I had to wait like another 2 months to get that. And then I got the MRI and they're like, oh yeah, you've got some damage in your arm. And I'm like, okay, but what do I
Mm.
do? And he's like, yeah, just don't work as much. I'm like, okay. So I did that, but yeah, it hasn't recovered fully. Like I get it from time to time. If I'm working, like yesterday, I think I was feeling it. I was modeling my I'm making a house for one of my games, and yeah, like after an hour, it's like your arm starts to feel cooked. Just
Hmm.
slightly ease back into the yeah. That's how you have to do it. You just have to do little bits. Like I can't work 8 hour days anymore. Like straight up 9 to 5, just constantly. It's impossible. I have to take big breaks.
Mm.
Some of the coolest people I worked with were at High Res. Yeah. Slipknot Hello Kitty Island collab coming. um,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. So let's play the next thing. One question I want to ask. It's not really a question. I want to talk to you about it. Are you aware of the actual layoffs that are happening? Like what companies are doing it and stuff. How up to date are you, Patrick, on the news?
Uh, man, I Well, since I am looking for a full-time position again, I can't help but keep my eye out when someone on LinkedIn posts another studio is closed, you know.
Mm.
Um, I keep up to date on it, you know. The thing is, so you know, I've worked in the industry a very long time, so I have friends everywhere. You know, I got homies at well, I did have homies at every studio all over the damn world, but a lot of those studios have closed, man. So it's tough. Like I do hear a lot of stuff about the closures. Even I mean, just recently, like I know we talked about Spectre Divide last
Yep.
time we were
Yep.
chatting, and they just closed I think a week or two ago.
Yep. I was gonna
And
say, I fucking called it.
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you know, my friend Rick, she was a producer. She was a producer at Mountaintop, and she got let go over the summer
Mm.
with a wave of like 15 to 20 people, and then they kind of like limped on until just recently, and then they closed. And you know, a lot of studios have been following, man, the same pattern, you know, like a couple of layoffs every few months, and then you know, just a closure, man. And it's rough. It's a tough time, you know,
Yeah.
for it's a tough time.
I will say they secured $35 million in funding. That's how much
Yeah,
they
it's a lot of
secured.
money. That's
What we could
that's
do
a
with
lot of
that
money.
money. What we could do with that money.
Yeah, I think about that a lot. Yes, yes, I agree. I 100% agree. I know, man. I know it's a wild time.
Yeah, and there's a studio
I like this.
called, yeah, this one. Yeah, I like this.
I like this sculpture. Yeah, yeah. But what was the studio you were talking about?
Yeah, Playside Studios. See, they are Australia's largest studio, apparently, according to them. Um, they just had a restructuring. They didn't fire everyone, and we don't know how many people they got rid of. But judging off LinkedIn, I'm like, I see. Oh, I've been let go. Next post, I've been let go. Next post, I've been like, and I want to say at least 20 people, that have been let go, but
Yeah,
probably more, honestly, because a lot of people don't even advertise the fact they got let go. They just take it on the chin
yeah.
and just they don't like to say that they got let go. You know, and it sort of makes you
Mm.
look a little bad sometimes. It's like I don't know. I don't know if I would do it. If I were to get let go, I don't know if I would say, "Oh, this place let me go." Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a more pro than a con. I don't know. But point is, Australia's largest studio. Australia takes another hit, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's crazy. And not only that
Yeah,
is I looked on this website and it said since the beginning of 2025, there's been at least 1,200 dev layoffs just for the companies that I'm going to list, right? This isn't taking into account any small, super small indie companies, a lot of people that do freelance. It doesn't take into account them. It just takes into account these studios. There's Free Jam. Let me know if you know any of these and if you have anything to say, Patrick. Splash
mm.
Damage, Piranha Games.
I mean, I mean, the first one you listed, Splash Damage. They did. I mean, that's a huge studio. They did games like Brink,
Hmm,
which you know was super avant-garde when it came out. Like Splash Damage is that's an old studio. Like they've been around forever.
yeah,
Brutal. Anyway, Tim Appleby was the art director there. Like incredible artist. Um, yeah. Anyway, I think John Fletcher got started there, and he eventually went to Blizzard and to Valve, and I don't
hmm.
like, dude. Splash Damage was in a very prestigious studio. It had some very powerful artists came out of Splash.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't know who. I don't know. Like, I didn't document the amount of people from each studio, so I don't know if the guy you're talking about was included. It's probably likely not. It's probably more so the juniors and
Mm.
the
Yeah,
yeah
let's hope. Let's. I mean, who knows at this point? You know, times aren't great.
yeah. Well, I mean, theoretically, if this guy was to get let go, he would probably have an easier time versus a junior anyway. So if you have to look at
You'd
it from
think
a
so.
yeah, oh
You'd
okay,
think so, but they're just like there just aren't jobs. That's the thing. It's like you could say, oh, this person might have an easier time than this person, and that might be true from like a numerical experience standpoint. But when there is when there's only 5 jobs but 40 exceptional senior people, you know, that's 35 exceptional senior people who aren't employed, and there are 5 who get those jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's
but you're competing.
extremely competitive.
You'd be competing against those 35 exceptional people if
You bet.
you're not
Yeah.
a exceptional person yourself, because the majority of people
We're
who
yeah.
are going for jobs aren't, at that caliber yet. And it's a race to the bottom. Look, it depends on how desperate these senior devs are. Like if you're in a situation where you're about to go homeless, Patrick, you're probably going to take a lesser pay rate if you were that desperate, right?
I mean, if I even got the offer, that's the thing. Like, you're not even getting offers to take the lower rate.
That's true
We're
too.
in a
Yeah.
situation where there aren't even jobs being offered at lower rates. That's the thing. Like, most people, I think that this downturn in the industry is going to force a lot of people to find alternate careers. Like, I think at the end of the
Have to
day,
agree.
I think a lot of people, even very accomplished, very talented people, I think will get to a point where they're like, I'm not waiting for this to turn back around. I have a house, I have children, I have responsibilities, whatever that are going to require them to make different choices. I don't think everybody's going to be able to stick around and wait for the industry to turn back around. I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of flexibility in my life, but
Hmm.
not everyone is as flexible as I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I know you mentioned about like family and stuff, but I feel like we're in a culture now where a lot of people don't want to start a family until they're like ready for it. But like, I know it was different for like my parents and my grandparents. It's like they would marry poor and they would have kids poor and they would, you know, it didn't
Well,
matter
that's
as
smart.
much. But
It's
now
because
it's
it's
like,
because our old generations are a lot smarter than we are.
well, they were smarter when they were
Because
younger. Yeah.
well, I guess, I mean, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think that we live in a we live in a time where we are bombarded by information. So,
Mm.
you know, we're all worried about trying to make the best of everything, right? Like, oh, we want the best situation. Oh, we don't want to do this until it's like perfect. Like, we want the perfect scenario. I think older generations understood, because they had less than we do, that there's no such thing as a perfect scenario, and um, there's invaluable intangibles to things like having a family, getting married, having children. Like, I think all of these things are like can't be quantified. Like, there's no perfect time to have a very expensive child, right? Like,
Hmm.
it's expensive, right? But the the existence of your child is more valuable than the expense you're going to have to incur. Like, having the family and being poor is better than not having the family and maybe be having a little more money or something. I'm of that opinion. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't have a family but wishes, I would have. It's not that I haven't tried to have one. So, life is so much more than your job and your money and all of these things. Like, there's so much more to life
Yeah, you can see that
that's
in
more
some.
important.
I see it all the time in like some other third world countries. You go to this, like there'll be videos of them going through the slums, and it's like kids left and right, man. They're pumping them out
Hmm.
like no tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I know like technically it's a bit different. Like technically it costs more money to have a kid here. Like, but I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't have a kid myself, so I'm not going to comment on it really. So
I
maybe
don't
when
have
I.
a, I don't have a kid either, but like, there's there's ways to make life work. Like, what's important is what it really just comes down to what's important to you. You know, like is family and children and stuff like that important, or is, you know, whatever important. Only you can make that choice. Like I can't tell you what's the right move. You know, I can't tell you what is you know, correct or whatever. I'm not going to tell, you know, grown people how to live. But if you ask me, like, hey, you know, my lady and I, we want to have kids, but I don't have a, you know, game industry job, and this might prevent me from ever getting in there, I would just say you should probably have children. You know, like you should probably have a kid, and you never know. In 5 years, you might get that game job. Like maybe right now you have to work something else, but the future is unwritten. Like you never know. Like life is so crazy. Like I never would have expected that we'd be doing what we're doing right now. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like if you had asked me these questions, I don't have a crystal ball, and the one I do have is very cloudy. So I think that people need to just do what's important to them in the immediate, you know, right now, and then you never know what's going to be going on in 5 years. You know, I have this old homie. His name is Josh Singh. He's incredible artist. Incredible artist. He's like the art director at Marvel now. He's like very accomplished. But he used to sell cars. You know, he got married, he had a bunch of kids. I think he's got like 5 or 6 kids. And before he got into video games, he used to sell cars. He used to just have like a you know, regular job just like anybody else, and then he got the opportunity, got in, and you know, and his career moved on from there. But you never know what's going to happen. Life is only over when you decide it, really. Like if you look at things about like, oh, famous, like when did famous people start their fucking companies or whatever? Some people didn't start their companies until their 50s and their 60s and became very rich, very famous, very successful people. So if you're 22 right now, you have so much time. Like you have an entire life ahead of you. You know, I'm 40, I'm going to be 41 this summer. You know, these are things that you can only really understand, I think, as you get older and you realize like, damn, time takes forever. Like, you know, life takes a long time, and time is a strange concept.
Yeah.
You know, so
I had a weird.
do what you think is right, and it's what you want in the moment, and keep grinding and just keeping at it. And if you make a dope portfolio right now, you're 22, 23, you marry your lady, you have a couple kids, you're doing your job, you're doing whatever, and then you get the opportunity to get into games 2 or 3 years later, fucking do it. You never know. Like don't stop living life, and don't put your life on hold trying to get like this one or two things. Like, you know, life is so much more than just, you know, struggling to get a job making art. You know, and which is, you know, yeah, okay, Patrick, it's easy to say, you know, you've been doing this forever. I really believe that. You know, I may not be doing this forever. You never know. Like the industry is so crazy right now. There's a very real chance a lot of people aren't going to be doing this next year, 2 years, 3 years from now. So God only knows.
Yeah, I had a weird speaking of age, I had a weird feeling like I was in bed maybe like a few months ago, and I'm 25 for context, and I'm like, I had this feeling, I'm like, holy shit, like I'm like it's like I had my first clock go off. It's like it wasn't that I was running out of time. It's like, holy shit, I've already lived this long. Like it's coming, man. Like like I don't know. It's for the first time. It felt so weird. I don't know if you guys have felt it in the chat. Maybe write something. But yeah, for like being 25, I did not expect it. It just came and then it just went. I don't know. It felt really weird. I can't even really
Yeah.
explain it.
Every 10 years has kind of been like that for me. Like when I turned 30, it was really weird. When I turned 40, it was kind of weird. You know, it's like, wow, time's moving. It doesn't feel like it is, but sure enough, you know, I'm an old ass man now.
Airman wrote a question. Couple of questions about portfolio. Okay, save that for later. We're gonna go through portfolio reviews a bit later. So keep that in the back of your mind and ask it again so don't forget later. Just checking if there's anything I need to
What are we over
say.
here? We got Cerberus over here. This was fun. This was a fun one. Weird. I had to do so many weird, like this was actually a really, really great this is actually a really great model to learn like a lot of different things about how it does materials to get all these different things working on it.
Yeah, like I think me and Andrew have used something similar in WaveCade. It's like an outline shader that bleeds in. Yeah, it's really I love seeing things like this. It's so
Yeah, this is like
so beautiful to look
this
at.
is
Man.
this is an inverted Fresnel pumped through the emissive, so that's got that edge glow. So it's like it's a negative Fresnel, so it's coming from the bottom instead of from the top.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like
yeah.
it's essentially like a rim light, but it's a rim light, but it's negative, and it's really tight, so the bias is real low, so it just kind of like gets that glowy edge. And I pumped it through the emissive, and then it's got panners. You know, it's got like these weird panning stars on it, and then it has like a wiggly. It's got like wiggly details. So yeah, this thing was like. This was an interesting experience, like learning, just like learning how to get all of this stuff under the instruction count in Unreal 3.
It's gorgeous, man. Banana Rama
Thank you.
says, success is luck, connections and luck. See, okay, I'm going to predict what you would respond to this one, Patrick. So he says, success is luck, connections and luck. And most people will never be successful. So really, you just have to do what you love and get lucky. Also, market, you have to be in the right market for jobs. I'm going to predict you would say you have to make your own luck.
I mean, I think that's a good response. I do think that I think luck is a huge portion of it. It's like it's preparedness and luck. So it's being prepared, so you have a portfolio, you know what you're doing, you're ready to go. And then luck is when the opportunities present themselves. So you never know when the opportunity is going to present itself. So luck is the factor there, right? But if you're not prepared for the opportunity, you know, that's on you. So you got to have the portfolio, you got to have the resume ready to go. And then when that opportunity pops up, boom, you hit it and you say, hey, here's my portfolio. I can do the interview. We have a great chat. I can do the job, yada, yada, yada. Like there is a factor that you can control, you know, absolutely, 100%, you know, but what you can control is your preparedness for those situations.
Yeah, that sounds similar to making your own luck though. Being prepared is so I was right.
Yep, make it happen.
10
Make it
points
happen.
for me, mate.
Yeah.
Jatayam says, unrelated question. Have you guys ever had a paranormal experience or something tangentially spooky? I have. Many times.
For sure.
Do you get those too? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have a mate who I actually asked this question to one of my mates recently, and he's like, no, I've never felt it at all. Like nothing. I'm like, holy shit. Like does that mean you have no soul? Like I said, that as a joke. And he's like, no. But yeah, I get that all the time. Like, so it rarely happens. Sometimes I get sleep paralysis. It used to happen when I was younger. But fucking hell, man. Like, of course it would be the night after that I'd play like a really scary horror game. Like I played FNAF or Slender or something. Of course. So in my head, it's playing the fucking audio track of the games, right? I can feel breathing on my cheeks and I can hear footsteps as well for some and it's the FNAF footsteps where they sound like super crunchy and like low quality, you know what I mean? And I'm like, of course it's the night after I play a horror game and I'm fucking scared out of my mind. And I'm like, wake up. And I'm trying to move my arms and I can't. And I'm like, fuck. And then you eventually wake up and, you know, you would have to wipe the tears from your eyes because you can't help it. It's not like you cry out of sadness. Like, it's like your eyes just get wet for some reason. I don't know. Can't explain it. But yeah, it's like, fucking hell, man. Like, and you can close. It's funny because you can close your eyes and like, but it's scarier to close your eyes because you still got the sound. You want to be able to visually confirm the sounds that are going on, and all the time. It's have you ever had anything like that, Patrick, happen to you?
Yeah, I think I'm a very spiritual person.
Mm.
So I've definitely had a lot of things that I could only describe as spiritual experiences for sure.
Like, I get like the evil presences, but do you ever feel like good presence too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
good.
absolutely. Yeah,
That's good. Balance is good because if you don't feel
yeah.
if it's just negative all the time, then yeah, you got a problem.
I've felt some very, very, very powerful, positive spiritual experiences. Yeah,
Yeah.
change my like life changing spiritual experiences.
Actually, what I could do for the some airmen responded to the portfolio review. If you want to make sure I don't forget, there's a just write send your portfolio in the Discord. Go in the share your stuff and just link your portfolio. And what I'll do is I'll go through the ones that have been sent today. So just in case I or you forget, just send it in that chat and I'll load up the Discord later and we'll go through them. Yeah, please check mine out. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. All right, yeah. Anyway, so that list, I'll like remember we. So I think the last one I said
Oh yeah, I
was
guess we stopped
yeah,
at splash damage, man.
yeah.
The first one, the first one.
Yeah, so there was Piranha Games, Jar of Sparks, Ubisoft, which everyone knows. That was a big one,
Yeah,
man.
Ubisoft.
Fucking,
Yeah,
I think they took
yeah.
like 300 out of that 1.2k. Probably Monsters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
that's a
monsters.
big
Yeah.
one. Iron
Mhm.
Galaxy. Sounds familiar. I don't think I know what that one is, but it does. It sounds like a European or like Eastern European, I think. Sumo Group. That's one that I've actually done job post ratings on. They have the biggest fucking ego. I think that company. They're in my ego video. They're like, oh, we have all this funding and all these people. Yeah, well, you're losing employees, so take that ego
Mm.
and fucking fuck it off. Liquid Sword, NetEase Games, that's a big one.
Liquid
Toast
Sword,
Interactive, that's a
NetEase.
big
Yep.
one. The VR company.
Mm.
Night School Studio, Striking Distance, Until Dawn.
Striking distance until dawn. I know. Yeah, both of those places, big
They
places.
are big, yeah. Ballistic Moon,
Yep.
and I don't know how to say this one. Idios Montreal. Never heard of them.
IDOS.
Eidos, okay, yeah.
IDOS.
What are they?
Yeah.
What games? Like, I don't. What do they do? Do you know?
IDOS. I don't know what they're doing
Actually, nothing stops you
anymore,
from
but once
googling it.
upon IDOS used to be involved with Crystal Dynamics. IDOS and Crystal Dynamics used to be hand in hand. So like Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider games and stuff like that. I don't know what they're doing these days.
I just realized I can Google stuff for them live. So, oh,
There
they
you
did
go.
Marvel's Guardians of the. Oh, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, they did that. They did Deus Ex stuff.
Deus
Yeah, you're
Ex.
right about the Tomb Raider. Um,
Yeah,
Marvel's Avengers, but that's the shitty one, isn't it? The shitty.
probably.
Yeah, it's
If they close, probably.
Oh, it's funny that they went straight from 20. Oh no, they do have other games. It's just not in order. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've worked on a
Deus
shit
Ex
ton of
Human
stuff.
Revolution and Mankind and Divided. Those Human Revolution was a solid game. Like that was a great game.
I like this model by the way, the one I'm showing. This one's really sick. I like the.
Which one is this?
It's the.
Oh, Kuzenbot.
It's like half
So
bird, half
this was
frog.
super cool. This was a design by a community member. Some guy on the Reddit drew this skin, and it was just so popular that we made it into a skin for the game. Like
Hmm.
it was just someone on Reddit drew the concept, and then we took it, and I think another artist internally kind of like cleaned up the concept and made it a little more I don't know, did their thing to it, and then I got to make this. It was super cool, and my colleague Shane did the little pilot in his belly, but yeah, this was just super fun. And whenever I see people playing with this skin, it just cracks me up because we did some really funny, robot, like it has like great robot dialogue, and you know I love this one. It cracks me up so much, and it was just so great to make a model that was someone in the community designed it. That was one of the beautiful things about Smite. We would make stuff like that, things that became memes in the community. We would just be like, "That's a great fucking idea. We're just gonna make skin out of that."
Oh, it's sick. I really like. This is so cool.
It was super fun. I love this model, and this is ancient. Like I think this might have been my first. Oh yeah, I think it says in the thing 2021. Ancient.
Mm,
That's 4 years ago.
a lot of views. 46 likes. That's
Yeah,
pretty
this
good.
one. Yeah, not
Crystal,
bad.
ha ha ha. This guy is great. Can I reply to that?
Oh yeah, you good? Crystal, she is an incredible artist. Like she is, she works at Gunfire, but she worked on Diablo and some retro games and all sorts of other projects. She's an excellent character modeler.
Hmm. I wrote, yeah, bro. I call everyone bros. Don't worry. It's true though, because there's a lot of bros. It doesn't matter, you know. They're all bros. We're actually getting near to the portfolio review. This
Yeah,
is.
we're going through my work, man. We're getting into the older stuff.
I don't.
Like a
I
lot.
wonder how many we
So
got left. I don't know.
stuff in this era is from when COVID happened. So a lot of the models that you're going to be looking through now are when COVID happened and everyone went remote. The
Mm,
first thing I did was I just rendered out all of my art for the last couple of years. I was like, "Oh shit, this is insane. Things may be over." Like I don't know what's going on. I'm working from my living room. Let's render out all of my portfolio for the last couple of years. So, the next couple of models are going to be all going to be from the same time period. But these were really early skins that I worked on at high res. Like this was another Sven Bybee skin. Great design, super good concept artist. This is a lot of fun, and I got to do all this weird digital animated panners and stuff. Like Unreal 3 had so much. Well, Unreal 5 has all the same tools, I suppose, but we had so much control over our materials. We could really do a lot of cool stuff like panning glows and all sorts of crap.
should have hired this guy for Concord. Imagine if the Concord bottles looked like this. It would be much better, yeah?
I don't disagree with you.
Oh, yeah, and also, yeah, Banana Rama says I shared my SFW video game. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a model portfolio like ArtStation or a game one. We'll do, as long as I don't have to, play for half an hour to get the, yeah, as long as I don't have to play for half an hour to get the point, if I can just, like, get it, because I have to go through these kind of quickly, I'd assume, if there's a lot. We'll talk about one thing before we go into portfolios, and I want to ask you, have you heard of this before? There's a new union, I think they're new. I got this information from a YouTuber called Industry Devs. He's the guy that, and the girl that I went on their channel.
You got interviewed by.
Yeah, I got interviewed by. So they released a video.
I watched that. I watched that interview. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was very fun. They're very good people, man. Like they're very professional. Like the way they handle things.
I remember.
Like,
Yeah, you mentioned that. You're like, oh, you guys look all professional. Your webcams and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was really good. But yeah, they made a video based on this website, and that's how I found out about it. And it's a union that you can join, and it's only for United States and Canada. Although they do have sister organizations. They have one for United Kingdom, France, Czech, Spain, Australia, South Korea. But you can join this union, and if you have a job, they'll take either 1% of your income or a minimum of 15 US, which is if you don't have a job. So if you don't have a job, you have to pay $15 US per year to be in this union. Or if you do have a job, 1% of your income. So I was having a look of it and a read. And it's interesting, like if you look at their mission statement, you'll see exactly what they want to do. We are the workers of the North American video game industry, blah, 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 blah. So they have our trade is one of passion, a lifelong dream. I guess that doesn't matter. They talk about their wages, which they state are significantly lower than our counterparts in other industries, which is true. We don't get paid enough, I don't think, compared to the amount of stress, amount of work we have to do. It's like, compare it to other jobs like sales jobs, construction. I don't know. Maybe construction deserves to be paid more. It's one thing I do know is that apprentices get screwed over. they don't get paid enough. But if you have your own, if you're an experienced construction worker, you get paid a lot.
Hmm.
Like our work is actually
Absolutely.
physical. Like our work, like you don't think it's a physical job. It's a physical job. Like it does take a lot from you. Our hours are notoriously long, and we there's a lot of crunch time, which is true. This sucks if you don't get paid for your overtime. I think that would be like if you're getting paid for your overtime, then I think most people wouldn't care. But because a lot of people are on salary based, you just have to get the job done. It doesn't matter how many hours you
Yep.
have to work.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Our stability is fleeting, which is true. Like at least everyone's starting to wake up that the industry is, going through some shit. Our growth is stunted. Our skills are scrutinized, devalued, and disrespected by powerful yet incompetent shareholders who try to automate us away with large language models stolen from the very labor they belittle. So I guess they're very anti AI, and also they're not big
I
fans of the
mean,
people running the. That's true. A lot of people who are hiring don't know how to make games. I've worked for too many people that are like they're producers and they don't know how to make games. They don't even know like
mhm.
they assume they know what good art is and they don't.
Yeah.
And yeah, they think they know it
Yeah.
all. I'm sure you've had to deal with that too, surely, in the years you've
Oh
had.
yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of producers who didn't know they were managers from other disciplines, from other software companies or whatever, who became game producers who didn't really know what it took to make games. But yeah, I mean, it is a thing. It is a thing. Is managers, quote unquote, people who are good with Microsoft Excel. Um, they like to uh, throw their weight around, when they don't really know what it actually takes, but they think that, oh well, we just got to wrangle these artists, or we got to wrangle these creatives. But they would be nothing without the creatives. And I think that's what we're going to actually see, moving forward. Like we're we're moving into like a really weird, we're moving into a very strange time where I think we're going to see more and more of AI generated stuff,
Mm.
and uh there's going to be a boom, and then there's probably going to be a bust. It's going to be a lot easier to create a bunch of stuff, sure, but is it actually going to be any good? Well, that is yet to be determined, and I think that will really, what will shake that out is how successful those projects are that are utilizing these new technologies.
Mm.
But I don't think that you're going to make anything that actually has a soul if you're automatically procedurally generating all of it. I I I think even in the last couple of years before all of this AI crap, we've had more and more procedural generation into the game space, and it lacks life. Even using something like Substance Painter, I don't like Substance Painter. I use it because it's effective to create what I need to create for the current technology. But if you notice, with a lot of Substance Painter, things look the same. Everything's looking samey. Everything looks like it could be the same game. You look at like three or four AAA, quote unquote, titles, and yeah, this one might be modern and this one might be medieval, but they look the fucking same. Like they're using just realistic assets and procedural surfaces and procedural lighting and all of these things. And I think we're gonna see more of that, and we're gonna be inundated with games that just look very generic. It's gonna happen. It's give it 2-3 years, and
Mm.
you're gonna have a whole bunch of games that come out that all look extremely generic, more generic than the games that are coming out now.
Yeah, it's a matter of
It's
time
gonna happen.
before we have one game that's fully AI but actually does well. Like it's likely it's going to happen. There's going to be a game that makes a shit ton of money but was fully AI, and it's going to happen probably, assuming we don't fucking kill ourselves. in this
Yeah,
world.
I don't know about like fully. It's going to be leveraged heavily. You know, it's going to be leveraged heavily. Um, you're not going to be able to get away from not having at least a handful of people doing the choosing of the AI, but it's definitely happening. And
Yeah,
I
that's a
see a
good point.
gentleman in the chat right now. If you think AI will replace you, you're probably not a good artist. I I don't think that's true, man. I don't think that's true. Um, AI is coming in, and once it's able to generate 3D models from concept art, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough world when you're going to have to argue for um your position because an algorithm can take a concept and make a model out of it. Like
Yeah.
it really I don't think it really comes down to that. Now idea generation, conceptualization, people with taste, that's never going to like you're never going to be able to get away from that. But the rank and file production of the art itself, like the creation of the assets in these things, I think that it's going to be more challenging to have those positions, even if you are a very good artist, um, because you have to take into consideration that the bean counters don't care about they don't care about the art, you know, like they don't care about the life. They don't see the value in it until it turns into money. So I think we're going to go through an era of projects that come out and are probably um like economic failures. They're probably not going to be very successful projects before people realize like, oh, there's a human element to this that we can't really replace with the AI. Because
Mm.
people right now, they're thinking the computer is going to do everything for us. Like there's a mentality in the tech world that the computer is better than us as human beings. Like, oh, we should listen to the computer, the algorithms, the AI. Oh, it's going to scrub all of human knowledge and what to do. Like, there are people who worship the computer like it's some kind of deity. We we need to we need to prepare ourselves for the era of this that's coming, you know, where people are going to be looking to the computer for answers instead of looking to themselves or other human beings for the answers. And I I I don't think we should be looking to the computer for answers, but you know, I'm not a CEO of a multi-million dollar company, you know, so I think we're going to go through a pretty hard spot before we come back out and we make some real fucking art again.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, AI. Like, in order for, I don't know, like, my opinion of it is with there's bigger fish to fry, as in order for AI to, if it were to take over our jobs, right, we wouldn't even be really talking about the games industry. If it can do our jobs, it's going to be able to do pretty much every other job. Like it's going to be able to do like customer service is going to be completely ruined. Probably you're going to have a bunch of other industries ruined. So if everyone loses their job, like I don't even think there's bigger fish. Like society, I don't know. I see it as more of like if it can take us fully away, then it's going to take a lot of other shit fully away. That's a lot more important for society. And I don't know. There's bigger fish, but we'll see. I don't know. It's a bit of a
Yeah, I don't know.
controversial.
I mean, I think that the technology will get to a point where it will be able to do it will be able to create objects. But are those objects actually good? And it's going to take a human being with with taste and vision and these things to be able to kind of put them together to make it happen. You know, so um I think that that's really what's going to happen, is that we're gonna get a bunch of games that are going to be junk because they're all going to be generated by AI, and then we're going to get a couple of games that are that still have a lot of the human touch to them, and those will be more successful. And then the balance of how much of this stuff is actually generated procedurally versus how much is generated by actual human beings is going to be a constant struggle, you
Mm,
know, because you got to understand the mindset. You got to understand the mindset of the tech person, the non-creative, the CEO, the money people, the bean counters of the tech world. They see art. Oh, we got to create art. It's going to cost us a whole bunch, or we could run it through these systems that are a lot cheaper. They only see numbers. They only see money. But we all know as creative people that, yeah, you run this through the system, through the machine, it'll create a model, but there's no life to it. There's no none of that human element to it. And I think people will feel that, consumers will feel that, people who play the games will feel that, but the people making decisions, production, C-level people, it's going to be hard to convince them because it's so expensive to make games. And making content and making art is the most expensive part of the production. So you're going to be fighting an uphill battle with accountants essentially to convince them that, like, no, we do need humans to make this stuff. We can't just put everything through the machine. But
mm.
it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle to get them to see that.
Yeah, well, I think an even bigger issue. I think what the point was more talking about as well was like, people don't know what good art is. Like, imagine, all right, imagine Patrick, some producer went up to you and it's like, I want this. I want you to make this. I'm giving you 2 days to do it. Like, what's your response gonna be? Like, I only have 2 days budget. What's your response?
I say that's impossible.
Yeah, but it's just
I
like,
say
and then they're gonna be like,
there's
what?
no
But
way.
I saw
There's
this
no way
quick.
this gets made.
They're gonna be like, oh, but I saw this other artist who like did like a quick YouTube video. They went for 2 hours. It was like a what do they call where they like sped up, you know?
Yeah. Oh, time lapse.
Time lapse. That's what it is. And it's like, but I saw this guy do it. Why can't you do it? You know, like I only got 2 days, and then you'd be like, no, I want yeah, I don't know how long this would take you to do. How long do you think a model like this would take you if you had
That
to do it?
model, the one that we're looking at right now,
Yeah, yeah,
that took 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then let's say you somehow convince them you need 4 weeks, and they go, all right, whatever, and they're like, all right, and then now it comes to talking about pay, and they're like, oh, but 4 weeks is above budget. I'm like, now we gotta lower the pay. Oh, fucking these producers, man, I've had this happen too many times. Fucking gets me so mad.
Yeah, no, I mean this is so it's funny you say that because this is a conversation and an argument and a contention that has happened for the last for eternity. You have producers and production, and they have a schedule and a budget, and then you have artists and actual people who are producing content, and it is a struggle between the two of them. Be like, okay, we can, there's always, like, artists and creatives will always want more time, and production will always want less time, and it's the negotiation of the happy medium that gets you something like this model that we're looking at right now. This model that exists right now is because we all agree, we've ultimately negotiated and agreed upon, we're going to spend 4 weeks on these things, and that's the bet. That is what I was able to do in 4 weeks of time based on all the other constraints. And it's always this negotiation between production and creation that gets you the video game. Things would always be greater to have more time, but time is money, and we only have so much of a budget. So production, they split the budget up into realistic chunks that, like, oh, this could actually launch, and we can make money. So it's constant. Like, this is nothing new. Like, this is what's been going on forever.
Mm.
Just trying to get the quote unquote correct amount of time to get the best out of the money you're putting into it.
Yeah.
It's a bit, it's this is business shit. Like this is the business side of making of entertainment and creative endeavors.
Airman asked, did that month 4 weeks include texturing too, right? Like you got the full.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But we would do a rough mesh like four days or so. I would bang out like a very rough model and give that.
Oh, oh my God, my internet. Yeah. So you basically just answered the question. You said it included texturing.
Yeah, it definitely included texturing because the way we would do things at high res was um we would do a rough model for 4 days maybe, to rough in the mesh, give it to the animation and rigging department just to make sure that it would work, and then we would spend 2 weeks on the high poly and make it nice and crisp, and then we would spend another couple, like 4 or 5 days, doing a low poly and a UV and a bake, make it nice and pretty, get that model over to animation, the final game model, and then we would do materials, and the materials were not just the textures, but we would also do we would also do things like, if you're looking at this guy, he's got like
Oh.
these panning glows, and he had and this girl you're looking at, she's got the glowing arm, and he's got the Gypsy Danger thing in his chest right there, that spinning doodad. So that was all part of like a 4 to 5 day like texture slash material pass. Same thing with her, you got her on the screen with her glowing arm. Like that glowing arm, the panning glows, the panning textures and everything. That's all part of the texture slash material process.
Mm. Yeah, because your
And
your
it was
str-
front, yeah.
your stream is 7 seconds behind mine, so like I was switching between. I'm like, fuck, like I
Okay,
should have just
okay.
I should have just committed to the initial switch and not switched back. But then, yeah, nah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, some of these guys are asking, these from a concept, and yes, I would get a concept, and finished concept, quote unquote. Sometimes they were more finished than others. Sometimes with more finished than others, for sure. But we had a lot of freedom at high res. I'll say, the less finished the concept, oftentimes the more fun I had to just sort of make it work.
You could
I
improv
kind of
more.
like, yeah, I kind of like that. I like improving and putting kind of more of my own, put a little myself on it if possible. Some studios are not that flexible, but high res was very flexible. I got to put a lot of my own, um, flair on a lot of stuff, which is really fun.
Yeah, sounds bloody good. All right, so before we go into portfolio reviews, there's one portfolio-based question, or it might not be a question, it might be like an opinion, that I want to talk to you about. I'm looking at your portfolio, and everything is like detailed to the max. It looks pretty much, I don't know if you would use the word perfect, but just
Certainly
really,
not.
it's not perfect, but like it looks really really
Not
good.
perfect.
But what I
Well, thank
notice
you. Well, thank you.
is the jobs that, or at least what I have gotten, they're not jobs that require this level of detail. They're like they have small budgets and they just want to make game assets, usually for things that are like seen on the side. But what a lot of artists do is they put like their most detailed stuff on their portfolio, which makes sense. But it's interesting that you will spend years making this stuff, especially if you're a student, and then the first jobs you'll get, you won't even need to go to this level of quality. I just want to get your opinion on this, Patrick, because at least for me, because I sort of portray my portfolio as like what you see, what you get. I'm usually someone who likes to do quick and easy models. I'm not someone who likes to spend weeks and weeks working on the same thing. Um, I guess I might as well show my portfolio. We'll combine this into a portfolio review, and I think I know what's wrong with it, but I want to see if the audience can sort of pick it out too, and I want to see what you think as well. So,
Yeah. I just got to my classic, my Radical Rex. That was a fun one. Radical Rex right there.
Well, we'll get back to your portfolio. I
Yeah.
just want to. We'll do this.
Oh, show for show.
I forgot to do the rest of the uni thing. We're talking about that, but
Oh yeah, the union stuff. Yeah.
should I finish that?
We'll,
I don't know what to do now. Should I do that first or this first? I don't know, man. People,
yeah. We're looking at this. Let's.
yeah,
I don't have much to say about union. Honestly, unions are like a weird political thing. I don't know how I feel about unions.
yeah.
Like, I understand the value of them in some cases, but I don't know how I feel about them
So yeah, like I
for
like
the
making
gaming
simple
sphere.
models. Like I did this for
That's
a job.
great. I mean, that's a great model.
Yeah, I did the animation as well
Fucking
on the rig. So it's very simple shit. I'll go to my next one. I don't really like doing characters though. But even though I've done some characters, there's Roger Smith, who for some reason I couldn't fix it. The render looks fucking stupid. I don't know why. It's like the shading's all like you'll see in the arms, it all looks whack, and I couldn't do anything about it. I guess I'll go to the proper renders.
Oh yeah, I see what you're
You
saying.
see how it looks whack, and there was nothing I could do about it. I don't know what, so maybe I should just remove it. But yeah, he's like, I did I used mixer mode to animate the body, but then I did the face. I added like blinking and shit.
Hmm.
But I sort of rendered my stuff. See, I know it's like the render looks kind of mid, but what my idea here was, what you see is what you get. So if you had to put this straight into Unity, I think I don't know if I use URP or HDRP. I can't remember which one, but you would kind of see it. It's a bit weird. I know people are going to say like, oh, you should try and make it look as good as possible, but I want to get your opinion on it, Patrick.
All right. Well, what do you I think it looks good. I don't know what you're asking outside of like make it look good as possible. Like the thing about this, what I would say is if you're trying to probably make the best, more accurate, like Roger from American Dad, I might play with a cell shader
Mm,
on it to see
yeah,
how it looks to try to make it look a little more like the cartoon. But from what I see, I mean it's the character, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And I think you had some of the edges in one of the images too, so you could see like the um
Oh, the
you could
edges
see like the
of this or a different one.
yeah the on Roger had like there was one image that had like your character
Ah, yeah,
edges.
I drew the fucking. It's just a fucking black pencil, fucking whoop 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 on the mouse.
No, I mean like his
Oh, the
like the
topology.
wireframe, the topology. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. Shit. Okay, that's what you meant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah, yeah. So,
it's very high poly. I
yeah, I
know,
mean,
but yeah,
it's pretty dense, but at least the loops are there. The loops are there for deformation. I mean, outside of like maybe playing with a more cell shaded result for it, it's a competent model.
yeah. Someone wrote there's something about the eyes that doesn't make it look like Roger. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's maybe it could be what Patrick said. It could be like you're seeing it as a um quote PBR, even though there's no normal map. But if it was cell shaded, maybe it'll look better. I don't know. But yeah, it
Yeah,
always looks weird. 3D models too, because the cartoons are 2D drawn. It always, even if you look at Futurama and you see the 3D scenes, there's a bit of it's a bit of an uncanny valley feeling there. You can never get it looking the same.
yeah, yes, absolutely. Like a couple of games try to bridge that 3D with a cell shaded look to it, and it's challenging. You know what I mean?
I love how I Google it. It's not even the It's yeah.
No,
Here we
it's
go.
like some old school actor.
Yeah. See, I guess I messed. His eyes bulge. Yeah, the different shape. Honestly, yeah, there's a lot of mistakes that I made in that model. But to be fair, I was only given
Well,
like a few days to. This is for work. I was only given a few days to work
it's
on it.
it's tough because a lot of times 2D animation, you could just you draw the scene, things on model. They don't have to like, you know, things drawn 2D to look a certain way in a scene versus a 3D, like a three-dimensional character that actually exists in 3D space. Like you'll notice weird relationships that just don't work because you
Mm.
could draw something graphically in it when it's 2D, but then when you actually try to create that in a three-dimensional space, you realize like how much sort of liberty is taken by the artist. So
Hmm.
there's always like a weirdness to like 2D versus 3D, or trying to bridge that gap.
Why am I getting follow requests and stuff?
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
You're a
I'll
popular
add 'em.
guy.
See, this is see. I think I'm
Getting
better
all
at
those.
doing these types of models. I like doing like environment art. So, like, if you look at this one, there's the topology
Hmm.
as well. So, um, this is a scene that I made for work as well, actually. Um, but yeah, I think I had to do some Christmas thing. But yeah, like this stuff is fun. I prefer to do this over characters. Like characters is fucking. I think it's because I don't like sculpting. But yeah, what do you think of this one? What would be your thoughts?
I mean, for like a winter scene, these are some decent assets. I would need to see them in context of the scene that they're in, but looks fine to me.
Yeah, for context, this was for an augmented reality app, so it would literally just be the real world plus this. So there wasn't a actual because I did a lot of work for augmented reality, so
Hmm.
it would
Hmm.
be yeah. So there really isn't a background. That's why yeah, there's no backgrounds and
Sure.
context. Let's look through some more models. Similar type of thing where I did like a New Year's Eve thing and animates and stuff. Hopefully this
Oh
loads.
yeah, yeah, yeah. See,
I
stuff like
hate
this, I think, is really, really powerful for like jobs in television. Like if you think about like the last time you watched a sports game, all of the 3D elements and um, all of the 3D elements that show up on like television, sports games, news, whatever, whatever. Like I think that this is an excellent example of stuff that would be useful if you were working for one of those types of companies.
hmm,
Like I could definitely see this being like something that gets thrown over, like oh, this is, you know, some news report of the new year. Like this is the type of stuff you would create if you worked at a production company doing news, sports, television, whatever, whatever. Like this is totally competent stuff.
yeah, thanks. Keep going through these. I won't go through everything. Oh, yeah, this was a band animation. This was the job I didn't get fucking paid for. Fucking
The worst jobs, dude, when you don't get paid for them. Especially if you like them too. Like this is pretty lit, you
yeah,
know?
dude, I loved it. This took me like 2 whole days to get to where it is. But yeah, and it's looping as well. Like I put effort in this bitch. Like seriously.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
it's
was
always the
exactly what
worst
they
when you don't get
wanted. It
paid.
was exactly what they
Ugh.
wanted. He gave me like a reference and he's like, "Hey, can you make it so it's like it's got that VCR effect and stuff and we like
Yeah, the
purple and blues and shit and
chromatic
yellows."
aberration going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so that was that one.
Yeah.
This was a similar one. I'll skip this one.
I mean, it's good. These are good skills to have, because like this is kind of like designy stuff too. You could work for design firm, film, TV, After Effects work,
mm,
3D models for After Effects houses and compositing houses do a lot of work on commercials and films and stuff. Like this is all competent stuff that I would imagine would be, useful in those environments.
mm. Reese asked, "Is After Effects?" No, it was done through Unity, out of all things. Um, this was a low poly flower pack that actually got some sales ever since Sketchfab, and I hate that they migrated to Fab. But this model was giving me like $5 every week. Someone would buy it every
Nice.
week. Yeah.
Hell
It's
yeah.
it's quite like it's made for games. Like I put that in the description, and yeah, you got like different pieces. You got color palettes and different. You're flexible on what you can
Mhm.
do. I even threw
Mhm.
in the rainbow. The rainbow wasn't meant for this, but I threw that in for free. Well, not for free. You pay for it, but yeah, it makes
Sure.
sense.
It just came along with the flowers.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I'll go to my homepage and then we can cherry pick models from there. So you pick. I want you, Patrick, to pick what you think you would like to look at and like review.
Well, I remember we talked about the last time we chatted. that gun turret looked pretty good. I remember the gun turret, and then the spinny game, and then the cannon. I remember we talked about these looking pretty solid.
Now, before Patrick says it, in the chat, pick out what you think, or when the model loads, what you think I could have done better with this model. Because I know the answer. Can this thing hurry up and load? There we go. Tell me, as an artist, what do you think is the problem with this model? And Patrick, you can talk about something else. Well, as long as you don't give the answer away. So.
Well, I don't know what the answer is, but I think it's pretty cool. I mean, my critique of this thing would probably be that the edge.
Yeah, someone's got
edge detail is
It's even everywhere. There's even edgeware, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I could have added.
Yeah.
I could have added a
because
noise.
that's exactly what I would say. I'd be like, that metal edgeware
Oh, it animates too, actually.
generator is probably a little strong. So what I would probably do with it is take like a grunge brush and just start cutting out some, go in and do some custom edge detail and scratch detail just so that the edges aren't so uniform like you were saying.
Yeah, I watched this other YouTuber. He said you could just add like a grunge noise map over the edgeware, and that just makes a big difference. Like you don't even have to do the manual painting. Yeah. Like even just doing that, what I should do is next time we do this type of thing, I'll edit the model and we could talk about the thing. Sure. So there's that one. We'll go back to my thing. Well, I'll show maybe one or two pieces, then I'll get to you guys. Is there anything else you would talk about, Patrick, here? What interests you?
Let's look at that. Let's look at the dartboard next to the gun.
A dartboard.
The
spin to win. Yeah, this one.
The spin to win. Spin. Yeah.
Man, gotta love Aussie internet, huh?
Hell yeah. Down under.
And then we can play.
That's not a knife.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, yeah, see,
I clicked off it. Shit.
No, the cool thing about some of these things is that you do have, you got a little animation to them. You got, it's got like a little life to it, which is nice. It's like a nice little added bonus to what we're looking at. But yeah, I think this is a pretty solid model. Can you pause it, or is it going to slow down and just stop?
It does, yeah. I can pause it.
That's cool. Like that's well done. Like the fact that it actually spins and it says win. That's a solid prop. And if you can make that happen in game, that's really good. Like there's I don't know if you played the game Dead Watch. What the hell is that? The new Valve.
Oh yeah,
Deadlock.
Yeah.
So in Deadlock, there are like vending machine type things that you interact with, and this feels like something that could fit right in, like kind of right in there. So it's cool that it shows not just that you made a model and you did materials, but you got animated materials, you got animated light, you got like a little bit of, you got animation in the mesh itself. It's spinning and then slowing down and then doing the wind thing. So, it's pretty solid.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. It feels weird getting compliments, I will say. I don't know if you guys are like that in the chat too. Do you know when it's like, you're really like, when a family member says, oh, you're so like they squeeze your cheek. Like I know Italians have it all the time, and it's like they go, "Oh yeah, you look so handsome. You look so handsome," and it's like, you're like, "Oh, you're like, thanks."
Oh, Nana, stop grabbing my cheek.
The stereotype is true, I will say. But other than that,
there was that. I think we also talked about last time. We talked about that the cannon you did.
Oh yeah, the cannon. Yeah, the circus cannon.
Yeah. The circus cannon was pretty cool. They're all kind of like at a similar level of finish. I think that they're pretty solid. I do think that some of your materials could use a little love. Like we were talking about the gun. Like the edgeware's a little like out of the box. But I like how you have animations to everything. And it's got a little squash and stretch, and it's pretty funny, and the materials look nice. Like, um, this one, I think the materials are a little more like silly, like a less obvious
Yeah.
what it's actually made out of.
Yeah. How about this
So
one? Look in
I'm
the
like,
actual render, maybe as substance. Yeah. This is what it
yeah,
was meant to look like in.
it's mostly the wheels that are standing out to me. The blue wheel,
Yeah.
the blue wheel is standing out. Like there's not a lot of like edge information and maybe like the wear that you get from rolling for. Like if you look at it, it's got kind of like that cross hatching horizontal normal detail that's catching light. But
Hmm.
I think to like really sell the fact that it's wheels, I might do like a vertical wear pattern,
Right.
that you'd
Yeah.
imagine from it rolling forward, and
Yeah.
then maybe doing a bit of edge wear on the side, and maybe the paint's wearing off and it's like, you could see wood underneath, or
Hmm.
something, just to like make the materials maybe a little more accurate to reality. But outside of that, I mean, it's, yeah, it's a fun model. It's a fun prop.
Yeah.
It really depends on like how it's being presented. Like so much with a lot of props and assets is just like, in what context is this being presented, and that will really tell you like what level of detail and what level of finish you need to it. Like one of the questions that you had in our little chat was, like people put too much detail into their models and stuff, and sometimes I agree with you. I think it all depends on the context in which it is viewed. Like if you're making characters for a game like a RPG where you like walk up to somebody and then it turns to a screen where like you see them like head and torso, like Mass Effect style, you see them torso up in their head and you choose dialogue, then you're going to have to develop the character and create it to a resolution that holds up to that environment. But if you're making a game that's like an RTS game, and you're never ever going to see models closer than like 3/4 at even when you zoom in. Like if you look at like Diablo, you can only zoom in so far on certain
Mm.
RTS 3/4 games. Like that is where you should review it. If you're only ever going to see it at a quarter of the screen, then you should be reviewing it at a quarter screen. And if it holds up at that resolution, then that model is done and good. But that,
Yeah. All
a
right.
lot of directors don't like doing that. A lot of directors love zooming in and flipping it over and looking at the stretch, like, oh, the texture's stretching under here. And it's like, my man, like you're never gonna ever see that ever. Like, why is that a problem?
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like that comes back to this. So this is another portfolio. I'll pause it for now. That's another point of mine. It's like portfolio pieces. It's like people really critique everything, but they don't know the context of the model. It might be something that's like you didn't have much time to work on, and it's going to be somewhere that's so in the background where it's not going to matter. But then I
Yeah.
guess you can make the decision whether or not you want to include it on the portfolio. I guess it's like maybe it's the case where it's like you want to put your best, you want to show you at your best as well. I don't know.
Yeah, with your portfolio, you definitely want to put your best foot forward. So, I would definitely err on the side of putting your best things out there. And Reese he's got a good comment. Diablo 4 model is kind of the thematic model, and that's true only because that they're sold. If you notice that the in-game store, you get those nice full screen shots of all of the armors and horses and all the assets that you can purchase in the in-game store. That's why it's at that resolution. So you could see it up close, you can see how cool it looks, and then you can make the purchase, even though in game you'll really never see it that close. It's more of a marketing thing than anything else. But you could save half the time. Like if you were making a 3-quarter game, you know, in a Diablo style Torchlight, you know, whatever you want to call those types of action RPGs, if you kept your camera and you kept your camera far away from the characters basically at all times, and you never showed a screen where they were super up close and detailed, you don't actually have to make the characters super detailed.
Hmm.
If it's never going to be seen, it doesn't actually need to be more detailed than it is. You know, things need to be critiqued in context, but so many other factors come into play, like, oh, are we selling this? Are we making marketing art out of it? You know, is there going to be a cinematic? Is there going to be in game? You know, all of these factors come into play, and that's really what kind of like bloats the time and the schedule and the detail and, you know, so on and so forth. All of those things
Hmm.
really come into the equation.
Yeah, I've just been playing someone else's videos. Patrick, do you mind if I put the Discord screen on the main screen? Like people are going to see your face. You're okay with that?
Show me.
Okay.
I'm gorgeous.
So yeah, so I'll start off. So the first person, I'll full screen this. First person is Latin. I was just playing those videos. Let me pause it. Oh, it is paused, I think. So yeah, these are. I think he's made this. So here's one model. It's like the ghost.
Oh,
Looks like a Ghostbusters thing.
I
Yeah.
love the Ecto one. Yeah, the Ghostbusters car is solid. I love it.
Yeah, it looks sick, and then he's got different shots of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looks really, really good. That's really high quality. That's really nice.
It is solid.
This is a building, which looks pretty cool. Yeah, just feel free to come in, Patrick. If you see anything you think could be improved, or just make general comments, then yeah, like just jump in.
Yeah, that looks
Whenever.
like a unlit game scene.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would
Nice.
put this on the portfolio as maybe you would as like a, but I wouldn't put this as the first screenshot of this model. I would put this as like screenshot number 6 or something. So that way it's not the first thing they see. It's like they can scroll down and see, okay, this is how it looks in the engine or whatever. Maybe it's the game's meant to look like this. It's meant to look like it's got this aesthetic. So you got other buildings here. You got like parts of it. It's cool that they're like breaking you like what I can see from this is you obviously can show that you can modulate stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Showing like a kit. You know, showing your environment kit is really good. All your different individual pieces. That's
Oh,
always
you had an
good.
art station this whole time. Okay. I think that was at the bottom. Okay. Oh, you got different stuff here. Okay. We got some other. If it loads. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Here we go. Ah, good. A loading
Yeah,
screen
your
number 2.
portfolio does not need to be perfect, but it just you know, it just shows stuff that you think you like. You know, this is
I thought
that's
it was
cool.
made in season.
It's
The
a cool
tram was
tram.
made in 1911 in Prague. Okay, I must go now.
See you next time.
Oh, that's interesting. They got some animation and stuff going on there, like a little conversation.
Yeah, I can see she looks a bit slippery when she walks. I've made that mistake too. I think you just gotta you either gotta speed up her walk cycle or make her move slower. Yeah. No, I've had that happen
Yeah.
to me many times. Or it could be the animation set. I don't know what you're rendering in, if it's Unity or Unreal, but sometimes the Unity compresses the animation and you have to set it in the meta settings in the properties and make it so it there's no animation error. But yeah, it's hard to
Yeah, I
animate
mean,
on a
it's
custom part too. It's really tricky.
it's cool. It's cool to show all of this stuff too. Like, you know, if you can show that you know how to bring all of these things into and make it work, that's the more you know. The more you know how to do, the more flexible you are. Really, the more marketable you are.
Hmm. Like his texture, I like his texturing. I don't know about you, Patrick, but his texturing looks top
Yeah.
notch to me.
Looks good.
We'll go through a couple more assets and then I'll have to move on to other people. I'm not sure how many people in the Discord have put in. I haven't had a look. Let's go to
Sure.
something. Go play this one. Actually, no, we'll play the last one. I think I remember there was like it looked really cool. It's like a sci-fi one. Here we go. Let's play this one. So he knows how to implement his own stuff. So that's what I like about this video. It's like you've got the character controller and you're going through your model as if you're a player.
Yeah, I
It's a long
definitely
video, I might
like
skip
that
to the
it's
nightclub part.
coming from the first person scene. It's definitely in an engine, you know, it's like it's all real time stuff in a video game engine. Good. Yeah, it's very competent stuff.
It's solid, really solid.
Yeah.
Right in chat, Barter, are you working right now? I can't remember. Or are you unemployed in the games industry? All right, let's move on to the next person. I'll read the chat, so I'll see that. Actually, is there any chats I've missed? Please go hard on mine. Airman says that. Okay, we will. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Martin, I
Patrick,
think that's cool stuff. You know, it's environment work. Like, could you go back to Martin's just for 1 second just to see like the global,
Yep.
just like the global.
Oh, you want to see everything, his portfolio as a whole?
Yeah, just like from a portfolio, yeah, from a whole, so I could see like what else he's got on.
He's got these. Which piece would you
Okay,
want to
so
see?
a couple of them look the same.
Yeah, I
Looks
think
like
he's
got
used the same. Yeah, it must be a compilation one. This one, and this must be just the one. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Grab the fourth image. Yeah, the thief from Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Yeah, grab that one. Is there anything more than just the video, or is it just?
Oh
the
yeah,
video?
there's pictures. I think there's a marmoset. Okay, we'll go through that, I guess. Or yeah. Oh, it's only a short video. Okay, it's a running scene. So
Okay. Okay.
see if marmoset works. We might get the character by itself. There's a video. Oh, it's anime. Okay, yeah, cool.
Interesting.
And that looks pretty good. I mean,
I like. Yeah. Well, it looks. Yeah, that's interesting. It looks better. It looks better by itself than it did in the scenes. I can see more of what's going on here.
yeah, the details
yeah, I
come
mean,
through more.
You know, it's just some solid looking.
Why do you
models.
think
Like,
that
I'd
is?
have
You reckon it's bloom, or is it just the texture card? Yeah, it's like maybe too much emission.
Probably just.
It should be
Yeah, he's
more
very
more.
glowy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like an intense lighting where he's like basically black except for his emissive.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're losing some of the detail that you put into the other aspects of the character. But
Yeah,
besides,
'cause
I mean,
it's really well
know.
detailed. You can see he's got symbols here and shit, and yeah, it's like I agree with you, Patrick, on that. Yeah, if there's some way to get those details coming through, he
The
doesn't look as
lighting-
emissive here.
yeah, the lighting could. The lighting is not helping your detail level in the render, but you know, I mean that's one critique from all of your stuff. Like, you know, it's good. Like, especially if you're an environment guy and you're not really focusing on the character, but you do have a character, there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Mm.
But I do think some of the lighting in this one, it's just not rough. It's just not showing off all the detail that your character necessarily has. Maybe other scenes, you know, you can get a little more of that.
Mm.
But like, this is very good. Like, you're showing all of your process too. Like, you're showing like this is the valley. You got like a billboard. You got a billboard for the background, and you composite it all together. Like, it's very cool.
I'm not going to get the video is demonetized. I always set my live streams to demonetize, but I'm not going to get copyright striked on any of this stuff. Yeah.
Let's hope
I'm just going to turn the. We're going to go in just from now on with no audio. So just in case, because I do want to post this to YouTube as an actual video, and you know, yeah, this is cool too. Yeah, see, it's the same problem with this, right? You can't really see the details in what he shows, but then you look at the model and it's like, wow, it actually looks like it's got a lot of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he's creepy.
Yeah, he's got like a creepy hunchback
Yeah.
of Notre Dame thing going on. That's pretty bizarre.
He's got a giant's face. Like when you
Yeah, his face is
I like his
that's pretty
face.
neat face. I do like the face. Yeah, I do like the face.
Okay, it's a bit, yeah. I mean, I'm not here to zoom in on stuff, but yeah, I don't know what's going on here. But you know what? Like if you're looking at it from this
It looks
perspective, you
like
can't even tell.
I think that might just be. I think that might be just be like different elements interpenetrating. Like I'm
Yeah.
guessing like the shirt is interpenetrating with like different objects.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. It's not cut off there. It's actually, yeah, I see.
yeah,
Maybe the normal maps, I don't
yeah,
know, they look a bit, are they inverted? I don't know.
it,
It has that weird normal map look. Too strong
yeah.
almost.
It's got some very harsh shadowing. I mean the basics are in though. That's the thing. Like I would say just keep doing what you're doing and refining the next piece and the next piece. Like the building blocks are certainly there. Like you're making competent models and you make a competent scene, and you got some rigging here. You're showing how you did that hair.
I like the skin
This
tone.
is
It just looks, the skin looks
yeah,
so real.
marvelous designer right there. You're doing uh some marvelous for the clothing. Yeah, man, just keep at it. There's it's just reps at this point. Like you have the fundamentals. You're making scenes, you're lighting them, you're making characters. It's really just sharpening the knife at this point.
Sweet. Yeah, that was very good portfolio, Barden. I can't show any more though. We have to move on because I think there's plenty of people to get through. So, if I was to spend that long, if I was to spend longer, we'd be here all day. So this is Pancon Devs one. Which one? What? Yeah, just tell me which one you want to
Let's look at the
Patrick.
animals. Let's look at the cute animals.
Yep. He's got his own website for this one, which is interesting.
Oh, good. Good.
It looks like the carousels. Yeah, I can keep. Oh no, it just brings me to the next one. So we only get one image per, yeah, per type of model. So this is the only information we can get on this one, I think.
Yeah, Martin, absolutely, man. These look cute. I mean, they're not. We can't get super close to them to look at them, but they're very cute and they're very effective, and you got a lot of them. So I like this. I like this piece.
Each animal looks like its animal. Like that's a cow, pig. Like it's obvious what it is, and that's good. That's what I'm noticing.
Yeah.
That's obviously a chicken, monkey, walrus.
Yeah, I like these. There's like a nice
good.
style to them.
It's very readable and it's very, very nice. Yeah, I like this one. I don't know what this symbol is. Is this just like, oh, that must be the mob. Okay, I don't know what that is. We'll just scroll through these. Actually, maybe that's not a good idea because you got a 7-second delay from what you hear, Patrick, and what you see. So I won't do that.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. So just tell me. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that astronaut dude that he's making.
Yeah. Let's
Look
look
at
at
the
this.
astronaut.
That's awesome.
Oh, I like these little guys. Like they're pretty interesting.
Oh, this one has more.
The
Oh no,
different
this one. Yeah.
materials and faces and stuff.
Oh, I see. So he's done. Okay. Yeah. So going left. Okay. Cool. This one we get multiple angles of. So.
Oh yeah, and it looks like he's retextured it a few times. That's cool.
Oh yeah. There's different variations. You got the UV map. Cool. That looks kind of nice.
I think having the UVs is really good. That's having your wireframe and your UVs are always a good thing to throw in every once in a while to show potential hiring people that
I like this
you
piece.
understand how to unwrap a model and you understand how to use UV space effectively. It's good to have you don't have to do it for every model, but showing a couple of things in wires and a couple of flats are always good to show that you understand that you know what you're doing. Oh, Martin's going to bed. Hey, good night, man. Have a good one.
Sleep well, man. Yeah, you must be tired. Let me just see something. Okay, one thing I would change, I don't know if you would agree with me, Patrick, is I really love this model. This model is so far, I think, his best model, right? This should be at the top. Like this one should be, I reckon, put your best stuff, because it's the first thing. So if I load the page, well, if it works, the first thing I see is this and this and this and this, right? Because it's at the top. So I would say put like this is a really amazing model. This is probably your best model. I'd say put that at the top. I don't know if you would agree with that, Patrick.
Uh, yeah, I mean, putting your best foot forward is always a good idea, but I guess I'd have to see that first image looks like untextured stuff, which is a little, um,
It's
you
like,
don't want you don't want your first mesh to be kind of like untextured.
mm,
Like that doesn't look quite finished.
yeah, like this car's pretty
So
cool too. But yeah, like I would
like
put
it's
this at the
cool
top.
pieces, but I'd finish it. Like it has no materials,
Oh
so I
wow,
would definitely put your
you've got even more
your
crazier
first
stuff here. Like this should definitely be at the top because it animates when you hover over it. That's cool.
stuff.
The dragon's pretty cool, I'd say. Hmm. It's interesting because a lot of times on ArtStation you would see like one square and you click on that square and then you would see all these things. But this website,
Mhm.
it's a bit different. It's more like a story. Let's look at this one. This is because it's animated. Yeah, it's like disabled gun.
Yeah, it's cool. It's got like effects, fire and lightning stuff going on there. It's pretty good.
But yeah, this stuff catches my eye. Like, at least let's look at the rig as well. See, he does rigging, so showcasing it, good. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is there any see if I load his website? Yeah, see, there's one thing I would like. I guess you're meant to click the about button, but I would like to see a little thing about what you do, like what your specialty is, because if you couldn't, because this is your own website, I'm sure you have flexibility on adding a little. You can add a little bar here and says, "Oh, my name is." You can put your real name. I don't know what it is. Is it Fabian Cardena? You could put that at the top, so that way I know who you are. And I guess you got it here in the images, but I don't know. I'd like to know a little more on what you do.
Yeah, I would agree with putting some of the more exciting stuff towards the top. The rigs,
See, even got
the
he's
effects.
got it running. See, this is the spaceman. Why is that not
He's
next
got a
to
lot of
this as well?
yeah,
It's
he's
like
got a lot of
separated,
good
right?
stuff.
That's sick. Yeah, that's an awesome animation.
Yeah, it may just be the layout of, I'm kind of used to the ArtStation thing where you click the one image and it's got like a page with a bunch of images. Because like I can see you have all these different variations of your spaceman. You have the variations of the dragon and its rig. I might just reorganize that so they're kind of like all put together a little bit.
Yeah,
But I think your strengths is certainly with the rigging and the materials of your spaceman dude. The rig looks good.
that's
The
solid.
effects looks good. The it- some of the objects you have that are not textured. I mean, I'd probably texture those or condense them. Condense them into like, okay, this is the prop, like these are all the props. These are all my untextured props, and these are all this and that and the other thing.
Mm.
Instead of putting them all into individual images, but
But yeah,
outside of outside of that like nitpickery, there's some cool stuff here. This is what I would imagine a generalist's portfolio.
mm,
You know, this is what I would think when I would get a general. You have some environment assets, you got some character assets, you got some effects, you have a little bit of animation. Like it's a pretty well-rounded portfolio.
yeah, this is awesome.
That's cool. I like what you got going on here. This is pretty neat.
A lot of good things to say about this. So
Yeah. I mean, it's really like, it's a good example of a whole bunch of different stuff, so I think for a generalist position, like this is a good portfolio.
all right, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, man. Keep at it, Fabian.
We're
Keep at it.
doing Nomadic Realms, or in other words, Striker. This is the guy that I had. I interviewed him once. He came on my channel, so we spoke a lot. Like this is the guy that he's making his own portfolio system. Like you'll see, I like it.
I'm seeing, do you think you should try to do everything before specializing? I mean, try things you're interested in. You know, if you're not interested in environment art, don't like force yourself to do it because you think you
Where are the
should go through
videos
it
of
or
this?
something.
Because I want to play. These are the screenshots, but
Yep.
is it this?
Do the things that you're interested in, you know.
I want to show you the videos of these things that he's made because they're amazing. But hopefully this. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, this is actually playing the game. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work on PC.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work.
He's got his game on his work.
No, it doesn't work on computer. I think, unless I'm done. Oh, I can shoot.
That's a cool model though. Oh, and it's got like all these
Can't move
markers and stuff.
But yeah, it's also like I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can help me. Oh, you forgot to select web. I don't have my webcam on, so I don't think that'll work. I don't use
Solo
webcam.
game. I push the lens. Desktop webcam is required. It looks like.
Yeah.
Huh. Needs webcam for PC. Okay.
Here's an asset pack that he's made for Unity, and he sells this on the asset store. Is there a way I could bump the quality up? Because it looks a bit pixely. There we go.
Cool.
It looks nice. Got the water reflections and the.
Yeah, I like that. I like the camera movements and the level of detail. Probably use a little love on the dumpster material itself. But, you know. Like you see the palette has a lot of surface to it. I would try to make sure you get that surface on, you know, oh, the cardboard has that surface too. That's nice.
Hmm.
You know, but the concrete steps don't quite have that level of detail, and the outside of the dumpster didn't quite have that level of detail. But that's, you know, we're getting into nitpickery. Like this is pretty solid.
Yeah, like people aren't gonna like this is environment art. Like no one's gonna stare at a dumpster for 30 minutes in a game. But yeah, like that was
Right.
that was solid as. What else have we got here? I clicked into that. I have to go back.
I would just make sure that everything has like a equal level, like an equal density of detail. I think that would be my only feedback for the alleyway, is that some pieces feel like a little more detailed than others. You know, just kind of like unifying everything. I like the I like the models in that Hoth game. You know, like I could already tell that what is that, an A-wing, I think is what it's called. Like that A-wing is a nice level of detail to it.
I'm pretty sure
Got
you
good
showed me,
materials.
Striker, you showed me the AT-AT by itself, like in a walking animation, like a video. Is that on, is there any way I can find that on your website? Because I feel like that would give, like that's going to wow Patrick. Okay, no, I swear you sent me a video of it walking, but okay, maybe not. All right. Yeah, he's done some AR stuff and like he's doing pretty well for himself. So, all right, I'm gonna move on to the next person.
Puss in Boots. I mean, this is good. I mean, clearly competent stuff. Like Damon, you're clearly, you know what you're doing. You know, just keep making more of what you're working on. Like it's looking very professional.
Click it. Hold on, just before I go into Jatome's one, he's saying click it.
Click it.
But that just that just goes
Click
through
it.
the game, doesn't it?
Bop it. Twist it.
Oh, there's more. I didn't. Here we go. Yeah, I swear it was this thing was walking. I think. I don't know. I might be tripping, but yeah, like it's got.
I mean, if you
looks good.
made these models yourself, man, I mean that looks exactly like what it is, you know. And even stuff. Can you get a little zoom in on those? Could those get bigger?
No,
See those,
I can't
can
get
you
any
click
bigger
on
than
those
that.
images?
It doesn't like
Okay.
I scroll and it just it unless wait I can do this. Oh,
Yeah.
might
I
be
mean,
too
that
much.
looks pretty cool. You know, the level of detail, the surface, the edges, like it. I love how it has like a snowy gradient, the snow at the feet. You know, there's like a bunch of snow at the feet and then it fades off.
Mm,
Like that's really nice. Like, does the top have snow on it too? Does the top of the walker have like a little bit of?
no,
Can you scroll up a
but
little
that
bit?
could no, it doesn't. But that could infer that it's
No.
not snowing now, but it did. So I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Like
I
that
like
still
how
makes
the
sense.
feet have the gradient. I like
Yeah.
how the feet have the gradient for sure.
So that's totally fine. That still makes sense to me. Yeah, it's really good portfolio. Like it's really solid. All right, now we'll go to Jitoem. So I think he does more animating. So play. Sorry, no sound because you know.
Sure. Jeremiah. Oh, okay.
I'm sure this would be much better with sound, but but yeah, it's really good. I like this. It's really smooth and got some stretch there. It's cool. I like the stories that they tell. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That's cool. This is giving me like a Shadow of the Colossus kind of vibe with the horse running around and bird hanging out. Oh, cool. Got
Yeah. Just for context,
train going
Jitoem,
on, I got
you
this
did
camera
the
moving.
animation only, right? Or did you do the modeling too? Just out of curiosity. Okay, looks like this might be a group project, this one. Oh, there's audio. Better. Mm.
Oh, interesting.
What did you use for the particles and stuff? Is that Houdini or something? I might have missed it. It might have said it at the start, but yeah, curious to know what the particles are like, how you made them. For the last two, I bought the models off Turbo's good. Yeah, that's good though. I can tell that it's
It's
an
got
animation
a-
portfolio though. So yeah,
It's got a vibe though. Like
Mm.
I will say, like it's got
trippy.
like a
It's very trippy.
it is, and it has a cool material effect where you're kind of like mixing this sort of interesting like graphic style on top of 3D models that I like.
It's just amazing that we find it so hard to get jobs, but you got people like this doing this stuff and blows the mind, doesn't it? 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, like probably would get a job straight away. Yeah, that was very
Yeah,
that was,
I
that was
think
awesome.
a lot of it probably has to do with, you know, where you're aiming. You know, like with a portfolio like that, I would recommend, you know, sure we all want to work in video games, but with a portfolio like that, like I think you could really work at um any house that's doing commercials and film, TV, game. Like if you have that skill set that you know you're good at animating, you're good at lighting, you're good at compositing, you know, there are a lot more options than games and simply games, you know. Like I think that you could probably get a gig doing, you know, work at a motion graphics house making commercials and stuff. Certainly not as exciting as making video games, but definitely possible. You know,
Mm.
definitely a realistic realistic place to get a gig.
This portfolio looks good so far.
He's an advertisement. Yeah, so like definitely like that doesn't surprise me at all. Like I'm sure you're like you have a job in marketing for sure.
What do you think of this so far? This is pretty cool.
Cool looking robot.
It's got like heaps of like it's got heaps of things I can see. Like it's the one model, but you can see it's like got different angles. They've also they've also got
Yeah,
like
it's
this
cool.
stuff. The 3D viewer.
It's got like a it's got like a mech warrior vibe to it. Like it's kind of has that like very simple, strong shape language going on that mech warrior has.
Oh, you can go inside it. Is that cool? It's like it's meant to be a
Oh,
giant
it's got a
model. So you're meant to
it's
be
got a cockpit. That's
you're meant to
cool.
be in
You
there, I
can
guess, and then it's like, aha. Clever, clever, clever.
That's pretty cool. That's very neat.
He's got the process. I don't know how you do that. Like there must be a way to I don't know how that's
Oh,
that's
look at
cool.
that. He's doing like a GIF where he shows all his blockouts and stuff. That's cool. That's neat. I like that. That's a
Yeah.
nice little that's like a nice little flex on the portfolio. It's cool. It's a cool model, man.
There's more as
Solid.
well. We'll go to the other pieces. Yeah, this reminds me. I saw this in. I think FNAF 4 has this in the menu. You can like see the progress of how he makes the animatronics. We'll go to. We've seen it. We'll go to the helicopter.
Guy's like a hard surface dude. This
Oh,
guy's
that's
definitely a
awesome. I
hard
love the
surface
hard
dude.
edges. That's sick. Such a cool shape.
Oh, this is a Warhammer. Stormhawk interest. Yeah, this is a Warhammer. Yeah, this looks
Oh, okay.
super cool. Super cool.
Oh, that's clean as fuck. Holy shit.
The textures on it. The materials could use a little love, but the modeling is solid. You know, great high poly modeling. I think some of that white paint probably use a little love to it, but
When you mean a little love,
oh,
I think he'd probably ask, "What's that mean?" So just, how would you? Yeah.
So what I see when I look at, can you scroll down a little bit to like a more fun, yeah. So I think that white is a little distracting, especially on that front part of the cockpit. It just doesn't look, it doesn't look I don't know. There's something about how do I describe that bit on the front that looks a little like out of place. It might be the level of like breakup, because like what's really nice about it is the blue surface is very nice, but the edge detail and the white are kind of clashing a little bit. So like we're getting some white edge detail on the blue, but that white paint is looking like, I don't know. It's just maybe that's what it's supposed to look like, and it's my maybe it's just my taste or my sensibility. But I like the blue. I don't like the white paint, especially on the cockpit. But it's not that it's bad. I think it might just be like a how much noise is going into it and how much edge detail is going into it. Trying to verbalize. I'm not sure. I mean, it's a solid model. It's excellent model. It could just be the fact that it's just like a Warhammer model. Paint is kind of distracting, but the rest of it looks very good.
Yeah, it's
And the
beautiful.
modeling is great, and you show the edge. You show the edges. The edges are solid. Like it's a really well made model.
He's
Maybe
got
I
the
just
pro
don't like that
tag
white
as
paint.
well.
I don't know.
They gave him the
I
pro
mean,
tag.
yeah.
Do you even have the pro tag on
100%.
your portfolio? I don't remember seeing that.
No, I didn't pay for it.
Oh, it costs wait. You have to pay them to get the pro tag.
I think you do. Yeah, I think you do.
Oh, jeez. I thought it was just like they go around looking at portfolios and go, "Oh yeah, we like this." Let's
No,
give
they
them
don't
the pro-"
do that.
So
They want their money. They want their
fucking,
money.
fucking hell! It's like LinkedIn Premium. God
What's that
damn.
next tank though? What's the tank with the Omega?
The blue one.
Yeah, that blue tank. I like that. I like this guy's work. Like it's definitely good high poly stuff.
I think he wrote in the chat that he doesn't have a job. He can't. There's no work in the industry. Where are you based? Just curious. It might say it actually. Mikhail. It's probably
Mikhail,
like
like,
Eastern Europe or something.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eastern Europe.
This is
That's cool. That's cool. The blue material on this is not as accurate or as effective, I guess I would say, as the material that's on the Stormhawk that you did. This is probably an older model than the Stormhawk. I could see kind of like how you sort of like leveled
Are you
up into the
comparing?
next one.
Are you meaning that in terms of you're comparing it to how it looks in the actual game, or like?
So I'm looking at what we're seeing on the screen, and then I'm thinking that this was probably he did this first and then did the Stormhawk after, and like learned. It's kind of like a stepping stone. Like, oh, I did this one, and then I did a more refined version of these materials on the next piece, because like this doesn't seem to have as many of the same sense of like the same material qualities that the other one did.
Mm,
Not that this is necessarily bad. What I would say about this though is like you see those pipes, like the exhaust pipes has that like big shine to it. I'd break that up more. You see like on the rear panel just above your mouse, you
mm,
can see how that one quad has kind of like a very even global shine to it, like a specular response to it. I
mhm.
would make sure that your materials are breaking up that roughness so it's not so clear of a shine. Make sure that your roughness map it enough um has enough value range that you really break up the specular response with the roughness. That will make your surfaces feel more realistic. Give it more of that PBR quality where there's that variation to the spec response, and that a lot of that comes through grunge and dirt and grime in your roughness. Oh, I love that Imperial Fist version of it, where you got that like nice yellow.
Mm.
That looks cool. I like that.
He says he's based in Vancouver, CA. That's Canada. Yeah.
Canada, yeah,
Okay. Well, so yeah, Canada's one of the big hubs, right? Where Vancouver, that's not.
Vancouver.
Yeah, that's not as big as the Montreal
No,
side, right?
there are definitely game studios in BC for sure. There are a lot of Vancouver studios.
Okay.
So you might be able to get a gig just down the street. Then you got to relocate like the rest of us. But this is cool. I mean, I love Warhammer stuff. Like this is a solid model. Everything I'm telling you is really nitpicky. But I would definitely look into, just
Interesting. So
just
I'm
keep
noticing the Marmoset
grinding.
render is a bit more metallic. Everything has a more metallic look, but compared to the renders, they're more plastic-ish.
Yeah. So even if you zoom in, like even if you zoom in on that render that you were looking at there, that Marmoset render,
Yeah, yeah.
if you turn the model a little bit, you'll see
Oh, yeah.
like he's got it going on. Like he's got information in the roughness. I just think it's not strong enough. Like there needs to be a little more contrast. That way you get that like, you don't want that. You don't want like a clear plane of spec response. You really do want to break it up a bit more. But overall, this is really cool. The metalness may be on some of the pieces that are not actually metallic, but
I
I'd
don't
have
know
to
what I
like
like
look
more. I don't know if I
at
like
it.
the more metallic or the less metallic. I'm not sure. I do like seeing metallic stuff though. It always, I don't know. It's hard to.
Metallic stuff does look cool as long as it's not. The thing is, when you put metalness, like using the PBR workflow, if you put metalness on stuff that's not actually metallic, you start getting kind of like strange results.
Yeah.
So like there's no such thing, like there's no blue metal, right? So the metal would be on the edgeware and stuff, and then the metal itself would be painted, which wouldn't be metallic. It'd be a
Ah.
different type of
Unless
surface.
it's made of
So I think
cobalt.
that
I know cobalt's blue.
yeah, maybe. Or it's space metal. It's like
Yeah,
blue
yeah.
space
It's
metal.
probably
So
meant to be
I mean,
steel, but yeah.
we could do all sorts of things, but I'd have to look at how you built it. But if one thing I've noticed that if you're playing with PBR stuff, even adding metallic to things that are not metallic, though it sort of saturates and increases the contrast of those materials, oftentimes it will wind up looking a little off because PBR is trying to recreate reality, and there's no like blue metal, there's no green metal, there's no purple metal in reality. And you're kind of like trying to create something with a style that's fighting like real life, real life information. So like PBR is like it's like a weird balance, trying to get things to work together.
Hmm. Here's another
That's
piece.
cool.
Yeah,
This guy
he knows what
guy
he's
makes
doing.
good hard surface tanks. Yeah, this guy's. I'd be surprised. I'm surprised if this guy's not employed
He's not.
or on his way.
He's not.
Yeah, that's surprising.
It's so shocking how the industry is. But yeah,
No, that's the
this render
industry
looks
these
sick.
days,
I
man.
like this render.
It's a goofy time, but that's cool stuff, man. Yeah, this guy knows how to make cool hard surface models. He'll be fine once things turn around. What's
If
the industry?
if-
No, it's a when. It's a when.
okay,
Give
okay,
it-
so you're a winner. Okay.
I'm a when, not an if guy. I
Okay.
think that it's gonna take. I do think it'll take a while. Unfortunately, as much as I would love it to just get all sorted out by the end of Q4 this year, I don't. I'm not a believer. I think it's gonna take a little longer.
We'll be quick. I wasn't gonna. We already done this guy's portfolio, but he wants feedback on this model, Pancon.
On this model.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pancon dev. So, suss this one out, Patrick.
The first thing that stands out to me are the facets on the spheres. This feels uneven in its low polyness.
Yeah, you got high poly,
like-
smooth here with. Yeah, it needs another, at least another edge.
Yeah, so like if
between.
you look at the it's a very small prop, sure, but it's you're presenting it, so you want it to like look good, and even in like an FPS game, it would probably have the resolution of a weapon, because if you're thinking of FPS, they're gonna pull the grenade out, they're gonna look at it, you're gonna pull the pin, and then you're gonna throw it. So it's got to be pretty high res, and if you've put all the time into making the pin ring as high res as it is, I think all of the other spherical elements could use a little more resolution.
Yeah, and he has the same issue as me with the edge wear. It's because constant edge wear. I can see it. Like once you see it, once you know about it, you can see it everywhere. It's got the same.
Yeah.
It's got the same issues what I have. So.
Yep, a little bit of consist. The edge wear is a little too clean. Like it feels a little too out of the box when it comes to materials. But you're on. You understand what's happening. Like you understand low poly model, you understand materials, you understand, I see you're breaking up not just your edge wear, but you're also breaking up the yellow caution lines and stuff. So I think it just needs a little higher resolution. Those spherical elements, you could add more polygons to them so they're not so faceted, and then you could use a little more time with the materials, like making them a little more accurate and a little less drag and drop. Substance materials. If you're using smart materials and things, it has like a look to it. It has like a smart material look to it. So if you could do a little more to that, maybe with some layers, some grunge layers to break things up a little bit to make it look a little less out of the box, could upgrade the model a little bit. But
But I like the shape. Chet's right. The shape is cool. It's like it's really beefy looking. I like that. I don't know. It looks beefy.
Yeah, it's a solid grenade. The thing is, it's tough with a lot of stuff because it's clearly like a competent model. So if you want me to like really get into it, like we're really getting into, okay, yeah, this is a competent grenade. It works fine. Like if you want me to critique it, the things I will be looking for things to critique, And what stands out first and foremost are like those, like I said, the bumps, the bump parts to it. Like I can see the facets on the sides of the spheres, and I can see the facets on the side of like the grenade itself.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would just sub D it once or so, and it'll probably be fine.
All right, moving on to the next one. I have not been on Tumblr in my life once, so just pointing that out. So I don't know how to use this thing.
Tumblr.
Yeah, Tumblr.
I didn't think Tumblr was still a thing.
Yeah, I didn't think that either. Okay, so we've got a few images here. Can I click on them? Oh, I can't make them bigger though. That makes it smaller. Unless it was just that image. Okay, this one does it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to so this is like I'm trying to work out what this is. It's like a mirror room. Got a staircase here. I'll go to another one because I can't really get much information out of that one. So you do more 2D.
Yeah.
So you're a 2D pixel artist. Okay.
I like the pixel. I like the cat with the headband.
That's cool. Yeah, it's got some character in it, mate. That's sick.
Pixel art is really fun.
Yeah, pixel art, it always blows me away, man. Okay, this must be in game. That's interesting. So it's like are these like bullets or something? Are these enemies? I'm not really sure. Maybe these are.
It has like a shmup vibe.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
what I'm
shoot 'em up
thinking.
vibe to it.
That's
But
what
it
I'm
could be like a
thinking.
bullet hell.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure, yeah, I can't tell if these are like the background or the enemies though. So like this can tell like something's with that, but I'm not sure because it looks like it's like intersecting the player, so it's hard to know. Like that's what's making me think it's a background thing. So I'm not sure if there's anything you can do to. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't played the game, so I don't know. I can't really piss off Tumblr. Okay, so you do some drawing on. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. I like the little doodles like this. Here's some more gameplay footage. So yeah.
Oh, Metroid. You got some.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, if you're making a pixel art, game with like a cat commando, I mean, I dig it already.
Yeah, this is the strongest.
Cat commando.
These pieces, this is the strongest piece. Like, that's sick. I really like that. But yeah, I haven't played the game, so I can't say anything about the game because I haven't played it. So yeah, awesome.
She got strong legs.
Damn, but it's a cat. It's fine. Like, see, I don't mind that. A lot of people are like, oh, you got to get proportion, but it's it's not a human, or it might be. Is it like a human with a cat costume, or I don't know.
I like the higher stuff. He's got a sock puppet. That's funny. I liked the stuff on top there. The the cat the cat pixel art where he's got like the different sprite sheets.
Yeah,
and the
sick.
guns.
Let's see if there's anything else. That's cool.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
That summertime. That's some cool pixel art. Can't go wrong with pretty girls.
Oh, yeah. So it's a lot of work. Like a lot of this stuff is so we can't critique it like as if it's a full portfolio. It's more work in it's a whip thing. So we got to keep that.
Yeah,
in
I
mind.
mean it's cool. It's like it's unique because it has, you're using like you're using a very pixel art style on some of this stuff, and a lot of your colors are pretty unique.
It's cool. It's like Minecraft looking.
But if you're working on pixel art games, if you got work in progress stuff, if you got like a little cat commando pixel art shoot 'em up game, keep at it.
What am I watching here?
That's a little bizarre.
What is that?
That's creeping me out a little bit.
I wish can I make this auto loop? How do I auto loop this? There's gotta be a way, no? I wish that I'm gonna have to do it manually, but that on loop would just be so trippy.
That's when you get some bad drugs and you see that.
Oh, here's actual
That's
like
wild,
sprite sheet.
man.
There we go. We've got an actual full
That's
sprite sheet
weird.
now. Yeah, cool. Yeah,
Oh,
this is nice.
cool. I like that. Yeah, I love seeing stuff like this. Like I really love seeing sprite sheets with all like the animations
Mm.
and everything laid out. That's super cool.
I will say though, I'm not sure if you're going for try to work in the industry, but yeah, don't use Tumblr as your portfolio. Like it's just gonna be like you saw my reaction. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, I don't know if you have an art station, yeah, or something. I would recommend just uploading this stuff, like
Just
your best
keep
stuff
at
there.
and just keep at it, man. Like
Yeah.
I can see you're doing a lot of cool sprite animation. You're doing kind of like indie game stuff. Like
Mm.
that's cool. Keep at it. Keep
This looks
working on it.
nice. This is trippy. Like I could this is an
Oh,
art. This is
that's
cool.
interesting. That's an earlier version of that image that we saw up on top.
Yeah, see this one's better. I can see what's going on here as well. Like this
Hmm.
is it's a bit like it's almost like you can make a horror game out of this. It's scary. I don't know, it looks cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next one. I do not know how many we've got. People are still sharing more. Actually, no, we're near the end. Actually, we might be at the
Cool,
end.
cool.
If
I think
you,
it's cool, man.
yeah, if you haven't already,
at it.
sent it in the chat. So this will be your last chance to get that. Oh, he found the animation that the AT-AT walking thing. So he found it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I saw. Yeah, there we go.
Hell yeah.
Looks sick.
That's cool.
It you can feel you know what I mean? The smack on the floor when he hits it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know how to
got some
describe
good
that.
weight. Some good weight.
I like the tilting of the hip as well. Looks
Mhm.
nice. You know what I really like? I said it last time I saw this. It's like he put dents. Like, do you see those little dents there at the front? It's like as if someone threw like an Ewok threw a rock at it or something.
Oh yeah.
It's like good
Yeah,
little detail.
there's a nice level of detail to just sort of the grunge and damage on this and the walker and the snow speeder. They felt good. They had a good. They felt very Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah, Reese. Yeah, put the link in the chat if that should work too. If you don't have the Discord, so I have not been reading chat. I'm so sorry. I don't know if anyone said anything that people want to bring up. I am. If there's something really important, say it now. But yeah. I'm not sure, Patrick. Okay, so while I wait for more portfolios, I don't know if you watched yesterday's stream, but we looked at this job and they're doing like a volunteer job thing, and there's this
Mm.
place called, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, the Department of Labor in America.
I am familiar. Yes.
Yeah. So for anyone else that's curious, I sent through the report, and they said they'll get back to me in two business days. So I might have to wait till it might be 3-4 days from now because it's weekend. But yeah, so I'm going to hear back whether or not they're going to get audited and investigated. So that's some interesting news. So we'll see what happens
would
in the
be
next few days.
interesting.
Because yeah, like you have to watch the video to know what happened. But I actually think what they're doing is they're practicing an illegal volunteer studio. I think, not a lawyer. I think
Mm.
so. But yeah. Okay. While we're waiting as well. Patrick, do you have any like general advice for anyone? Like, what comes to mind? Like, I guess it could be like a closing statement too, as well.
I was ask the question again. I'm sorry.
Like, what would be like do you have any general advice you would like to talk about to the people listening? Like, what do you think they could learn from you that you might have not have discussed before?
I mean, the industry is a train wreck at the moment. So don't get discouraged by the fact that everything seems to be falling apart. If this is the industry you want to aim at and grow in and all of that good stuff, then keep moving forward. Keep working at it, and don't give up if it's what you want to do. But don't get discouraged by the fact that everything is up in the air and all over the place. I would just recommend keep grinding, make fun stuff, and keep applying places. But in the interim, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you got yourself a gig that's paying your bills. You're staying healthy. You're keeping your mind, body, and soul healthy, and just keep grinding. Don't let all of this nonsense discourage you, because it's just all up in the air. And think about where those skills can take you, because like being able to, oh, I like this model. This was a super fun one that you're looking at right now.
Mm.
But the skills for 3D modeling, you could do CAD work, you could do architecture work, you could do film, commercials, games, you could do manufacturing, you could do a million things. So, stay flexible, stay open, and see where it takes you. And don't get discouraged by all these places closing, because in 3 years there's going to be a whole bunch of new places, and a bunch of other places are going to have closed. It's always volatile. It's always crazy. This is not an industry where you're just going to sit somewhere for 10 years. I think it's actually crazy to me that I was able to spend 6.5 years at my studio. That is uncommon, super uncommon. Generally speaking, you're going to be at a company for 2 or 3 years. A project is going to come out. It's either going to sink or swim. If it swims, then maybe you get a job. The job continues for another couple of years. If it sinks, you look for another one. It seems to be how it always is. So just keep at it. Don't let it discourage you, and just do it because you enjoy it. If you're not having fun, if you're not enjoying yourself, there are other things out there that will make you much happier. Like if you're upset and you're hating life, making art, then don't do that to yourself. Don't put yourself through that nonsense. I like this stuff too. I like that bug dude. That was cool.
Yeah, one thing I will say though is, do you know how to texture? I would love to see how this looks finished. Like this was the first. So if you go on the profile, so the first thing I see is this. I would love to see it like done. But yeah, topology, the fucking hell, that topology is really nice. Like look at all that detail. I guess I don't know how performant this would be in a game engine, but
yeah, it looks sub D, so this might be like more of a cinematic model. But I agree. I would still put materials on it because it is cool. It is quite cool. So I think finishing it up with some materials would really.
But yeah, the topology is fucking looks kind of cool. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, this is cool too. What do you think of this scene here, Patrick?
It's making me want to smoke.
Oh yeah, you're a smoker. Yeah.
Take a 5-minute break and go puff one.
Speaking of ciggies,
what's up?
In Australia, they've introduced new rules where they have to put warning signs on each individual cigarette, and stuff. Like, so there's gonna have to ink it now with like warnings of like what you're
on the cigarette itself?
Cigarette itself, not just the packet, on the cigarette itself. And in Australia, we can't even have logos and shit. It's like, but you can have logos, but you can't have the pack looking good. It's just a white pack with just the logo of the cigarette. They really, I don't know if it's like that in the US.
Have you seen the packs of cigarettes in the UK? They have like photos of like lung damage and stuff on them. They have like really, they got really gross pictures.
I think we have that too. Actually.
I don't smoke cigarettes anymore on a regular. I used to be a smoker. But yeah,
looks like roast chicken.
They're pretty rough. It's pretty rough, man.
Yeah.
But it doesn't dissuade me. I mean, I still want to smoke. Just like, oh yeah, that's a gross picture, but the cigarette's delicious. Give it to me.
Oh, this is a good model. See, this one is finished.
That's cool. Cool gun. It's like a crossbow. Like a crossbow gun.
Yeah, how does it shoot? Oh, yeah, it is a crossbow gun. Yeah, sick.
That's unique. A big ass mag on the bottom there with the
interceptor.
Crossbow.
Who is that? Is that mag. Who is that? Like a rapper or something? Like, what rapper is that?
Is it? I don't know.
He's dressed like as if he's Robin Hood, like Pied Piper or whatever.
Yeah,
But
he's
it's like
definitely
a
got
rapper.
a Robin Hood vibe. Yeah, I don't know who that is, but it's cool. It's got cool hard surface stuff. Yeah, I think I'd probably just like break up the materials a little bit. It's
Yeah.
Lil Jon. I like that. That's funny.
Can my Aussie internet please fucking work? Holy shit. Look at this. Do not come to
Aussie
Australia. No, Australia's alright. Look at this. I can't even look. Just, can it load? Or maybe our station's down. I would love to look at your portfolio, but I physically can't. Let's just close the tab and... what was he naming it? It was Reese. Nope, I still can't. Like, it just... Can I load YouTube? Okay, something's wrong with ArtStation. Oh, wait, no, it's back here. Reese... What was it?
Not
I
the
think it was a
Aussie
3D,
internet.
I think. No, it's not the internet. Like, my thing opened straight away. Is there any other pieces that we need to look at here? Oh, we got an MP5 SK, I think that is. I think that's what it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's nice. The modeling on that's top notch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
Shoot some zombies with it.
Yeah, we got a sawed-off shotgun, I think. Oh, you've got engravings. What do I say? Funny, funny, funny. That's cool. Oh, yeah, nice. It even, like... You've modeled it in a way where it can be used, like, in a game.
Oh yeah, it's got the break and everything. Yeah, I think that there's something about the shine on the metal that's standing out to me. But other than that, this is cool. It's cool stuff.
Yeah, I think it's got the same problem with what you were saying before. It's like everything's the same. Look, it's got detail, like base map detail, but the shine is the same throughout. You can see it's just a clear, straight line, like a band.
I definitely see if you can't increase the contrast on your roughness, just to really break up those, just to break things up. You know, get like a little more. It's a little more variation to your specular response. Like it's really coming through on the wood. Like the wood's got a nice variation. Like it gets tight on some of those highlight edges, you know, and then when it spreads out, it breaks up a little bit with the wood grain.
Yeah.
The metal just has kind of like some straight lines on it that could use a little breakup. But otherwise, you know, it's a cool gun.
Yeah, I know you like the wood, but one thing that you could do to make the metal look shinier is if you decrease the shine on the wood, because then you would have contrast between... I don't know. What do you think of that, Patrick? What do you reckon? It could be interesting if we decrease the specular here on the wood, and that way it'll
It could be.
It'll break it up a little
yeah.
more, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, even you agree. It's too uniform. Yeah. Maybe you're talking about the metal, but yeah. What do you think of the idea where you maybe decrease the specular on the wood a little bit, so that way the metal, when it shines, it looks like there's a contrast.
Yeah, that could be. That could solve it. I mean,
but yeah, I like
think
this portfolio.
I think a little more, just just a levels adjustment on your roughness for your metal might go a long way. But yeah, overall it's cool stuff.
This has been
Good
an awesome
guns.
stream. Holy shit. 17 viewers right now. I think at one point we had like 22, 23. Like, dude, you guys are the best. Like, I did not expect that. Yesterday's stream, I think, got like 14, 15. But I think that's because I only streamed for like an hour. So we've been streaming. Holy shit, it's 2:20. Whew. Okay. 2.5 hours. Nearly 2.5 hours. Actually, more. Sorry, I started at 11 my time. 3 hours, 20 minutes, I think. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, Patrick, any last words? I'll show off a bit more portfolio while you do that. And I might just end it. I think we've done what we need to do.
What are we even looking at? Oh, we're going way back. This is like 10 years ago. I used to work on I worked on back when League of Legends and Dota 2 and Heroes of New Earth, all of the MOBAs were the coming out, I had this really awesome opportunity to make a MOBA for EA, and it was called Dawngate, and it did not succeed, unfortunately. It was a lot of there was a lot of competition, but I got to make a whole bunch of characters for this little MOBA for EA called Dawngate, and these
Mm.
characters, like, it was my first lead position. It taught me so much about being, just a production artist, and also managing artists, communicating between different development teams, and it was just probably the most, like, probably like the project that shaped me most as a professional, just having to learn so much to make this game work. And most of these last couple characters that are on my portfolio are from this. If your Australian internet ever works out and can catch up to it, but I made a whole bunch of characters. Like, this character was super fun.
That looks nice.
This
Yeah.
mausoleum, dude. This guy was so fun. Four or five people drew this guy in different ways. We were making this graveyard golem character, and every artist on the team had drawn what this guy could possibly look like, and I basically just took all of those drawings and just combined them into one character. And just took like a little bit from everybody and made this golem character, and he turned out super fun.
So you've worked for EA, Activision, right? I'm right with
Disney.
that. Yeah. Fucking hell, you worked for everyone.
EA, Activision, Disney, and a bunch of independent studios.
Jeez, that's crazy. I don't know if there's too many people who have worked for both, like, EA and Activision at the same, like, I don't know. Seems super
I don't know.
rare.
The numbers are probably a little slim these days, but I've done it.
It's cool.
It was a hell of an experience, man. Like, building this game. When I got hired on this project, there were 10 of us, maybe 10, 12 people. I was like, there was nobody working on this game, and we eventually expanded out to like 20, 25 people, I think, when we were in full production in beta. It was super, super fun. It was amazing. I loved it. And I got to make just all this cool shit, and I got to hire a bunch of people, which was really cool, like going through the process of looking through portfolios and interviewing people and building a team. And then I built a pipeline outsourcing too, and I had five guys over in Shanghai who were doing skins and character work and environment work that I was critiquing on a regular basis, as well as the people internally. Like, we had 2 other modelers, and we had concept artists. Like, it was like a whole thing. It was a real crazy experience. I freaking loved it. It's amazing. Nice cannons.
She's got a nice cannon. That's what I just wrote.
Yeah, she does. That was a sky captain girl, and this was the tree lady. This lady, she was so much. I love this model. This was so much fun to make.
This looks so good. It's like so simple, the topology, but you're able to get, like, it doesn't look like it's so simple. That's like the thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could click that, and it gets a lot larger, and you can see the edge, like the edge flow on a lot of these characters. Like, I don't think we had any character in this game. Like, she was probably like one of the bigger. She was probably one of the more dense characters, and she was like, what, like maybe 12,000 triangles, maybe.
It's crazy.
Maybe
like,
a little long.
This image doesn't look like this image. That's the point. It's like you can see it's like not much topology, but it doesn't look like that. It's so cool. Yeah, that's a skill in itself. But yeah,
just trying to get the most out of it. These were still like, this was still like 2012, I think, when I was working on this game, and it was a Dota RTS angle
Sick.
So a lot of these characters were very low polygon count, and I have a lot of the edge. I have a lot of images with the edge wear, or the I'm sorry, not the edge wear. I'm sorry, the face edges. So you can see how low poly, you know, these characters wound up being in at the game resolution.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love the hair on this. That's so cool.
Yeah, he was super
Oh,
fun.
it's
Like
just
all
so
these
simple.
characters.
Look at
were
that.
super
It's just like
I love
two
it.
triangles, and it like doesn't look like just two triangles. It looks smooth. I don't know. That's amazing. I wonder how much I've got left in this portfolio. Um,
Just a couple characters,
Oh,
man. and we're
that's-
almost to the end.
that's it. I think. Yeah. I think this is two more. So
Oh,
this
I think
is
the
one.
last one is the there's the robot Faris and then Kindra
That's
the assassin.
sick.
It's
I
cool
need to zoom
robot.
in on that one. It's like robot. It's like mechanic. What is it called? Not mechanical robot mechanic. No, it's like the mix between organic and mechanical, and it's like
Mhm.
a thing that a lot of tattoo artists do.
Oh, like a biomech.
That's it. But yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Biomech. It's like
He had a bit of that vibe to him. You know, he's supposed to be like this ancient robot, so he's kind of like this
dope.
old organic like stone robot, and he had like a cool bug face, like all of those little flaps on his face, like he had four like mandibles, kind of like a
they'd
bug.
open and shit. Oh, sick.
Yeah, they opened, and when he would like talk, they would move like a bug. He had kind of like a insect thing going on, and yeah, super cool robot drawn by Will Coiner, who's working on he's working on the new Spider-Man movies, like the Into the Spider-Verse and stuff. He's doing viz dev for all of those shows now, and he was the concept guy on a lot of these.
She's like
this
this
is,
reminds
this
me
is-
of a better version of a model I made. Like my boss in Wavecade. She looks prettier.
Oh yeah.
She looks like my Wavecade boss, the one that the trippy one. Yeah, yeah. Go on.
He was this girl was actually named after the concept artist who drew her. We had this girl named her name was Kindra Haugen, and she did she was the second concept artist we hired, and she did a bunch of characters, and the designers made this purple assassin girl, and they named it after her.
Mm.
That was one of the cool things about Dawngate. A lot of the characters in the game were kind of named after us as developers. It was very indie, you know, like we all kind of had like our own, we got to put our touch on that game. It was a lot of fun.
It's awesome. Alright, and that's all she wrote with the portfolio.
And these
Yeah,
are
I
ancient.
love this.
These
Yeah,
are ancient.
this one. I love this one. This one's sick.
Boom. Love that guy. He was
It's
fun.
no wonder it's on the first one. See,
He was so this model was actually part of the big, like when Smite 2 launched the initial sale, if you bought like the alpha pack, you got this model. And this guy was like the third form. Like there were two other forms to this model, and it's in the video. My buddy JMac, he did the other two, like the first two characters, and this is like the third one, like the ultimate form of the skin.
Mm.
And it was all over marketing, so it was pretty cool to do like a character that wound up everywhere.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to end it there. But yeah, Patrick, absolute pleasure having you on. Absolute pleasure.
Hey man,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you for inviting me again. It was fun to, bullshit and help people out. Hopefully hopefully going through the portfolios and talking about people's work has helped somebody out, and
Yeah, you've
I
made a big
wish you guys
difference.
the best. You don't just don't give up. If you love this crap and you want to make this your career, if you want to keep pushing forward, don't worry that this year is a wash. You know what I'm saying? Give it some time. It'll come back. It'll come back. Oh, there. Hey, there I am. I'm on the screen. May as well look at the thing. But you know, keep at it. Do it because you love it and because you enjoy it. And things will come around. The industry will look very different, but it's still going to be there because no one wants to stop playing games. Like, games are awesome. People love them. They're very important for people's mental health and just enjoying life and having a good time. And they're also oftentimes like big, oftentimes, they're kind of like they're cultural flashpoints, like you can look back in time, like look at Final Fantasy VII. Like, games completely changed because of Final, so we'll see what the next one of those happens to be. Look at Fortnite, only came out a couple of years ago, completely changed the game as far as what live service games are going to be like. So we don't even know what the next big game is going to be, what the next big wave is going to be, what the next genre that's going to take the place by storm and everyone's going to be chasing. Like, that's just how these things go. Everything happens in cycles. Everything, things ebb and flow. They rise and they fall, like everything else. Season. We don't know what the next season looks like. Keep grinding. Keep working on your portfolio. Work on yourself. Enjoy life. You only get one, so make the best of it. Enjoy it.
Words of wisdom, Lloyd. Words of wisdom. If you get the quote. But yeah, one thing I will say about you, though, I don't know how you talk. Like, when I talk, I'm always umming and ahhing. I don't know. Somehow you talk so coherently, it just doesn't make any sense. I literally don't understand it. Here's me fucking stuttering, and you're just like, I don't understand. But I guess that's just, humans are humans.
Hey man, everybody's different. I've been talking a lot for a long time. So who knows, man? Just keep at it. It's like anything else. I love talking but that's the thing. I love talking to people, and I want to be helpful and a resource, for people who want to get into this and do and do this job, work in the industry, do what they can. I've had many hours sitting in meetings, communicating with people, talking over Zoom meetings, trying to communicate myself and do what I can. So it's a skill like everything else. You just got to work on it. It's a rep. It's a muscle. You just keep repping until it's good.
Sounds good. Sounds bloody good. All right, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for listening. And yeah, absolute pleasure, Patrick. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you for the portfolios you all sent. And yeah, it means a lot having viewers that give a shit, So yeah, thank you so much. All right. See you later, guys.
Take it easy. Peace.
Got something to expose? Call the Spillato Bros.